that we use. It's unfortunate you can't see with your eyes, but those that have been made with lead, you need to avoid. And that means that probably when you are buying, you should check with the people you are buying from that has lead been used. It might be a difficult answer to get, but if you could avoid it, why not leave it?
Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Food and Drugs Authority, Roderick Kwabena Adeye Eje there. And finally, before we go, an Accra High Court has varied the bail conditions of NPDP's National Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Enchi-Boesiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, after noting the investigators' failure to comply with the directive. Chairman Wontumi, who has pleaded not guilty to permitting two persons to undertake mining operations on his concession without obtaining ministerial approval, had initially been ordered to report to investigators as part of his bail conditions. In court on Monday, however, the presiding judge indicated that investigators have repeatedly failed to comply with orders and directed Wontumi to not report directly to the court's registrar. The court also dismissed an application by Wontumi's lawyers seeking additional disclosure of some documents from prosecution. Let's take a listen to the lawyer for Chairman Wontumi, Helen Appiah-Ampofo.
Today, we have filed a motion seeking orders directed at the prosecution to provide us with copies of any assignment from either the first accused person or the third accused person. The first accused person being our own Chairman Wontumi, and the third accused person being the company Akwanta Mining. From the debate today, Attorney General wants the court to believe that there is no such deed of assignment nor a sublease.
And that was the lawyer for Chairman Wontumi, who is also the NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Enchi-Boesiako, and that was Helen Appiah-Ampofo Esquire. That'll be all for this morning's bulletin. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyunam Haliga. Business News is right up.
Gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3 FM.
Welcome to this morning's business news here on Sunrise 3FM 92.7. Coming up this morning, Ghana Union of Traders Association warns utility hikes threaten reversal inflation gains.
We are going to outrun businesses by 25.75% in terms of cost of doing business. That will make nonsense of single inflation. That will make nonsense of reduction in policy rate.
Meanwhile, minority in Parliament demands immediate reversal of utility tariff hikes.
Instead of fixing the system, the government has chosen the lazy path of shifting its failures onto already sovereign consumers.
Also, the Institute of Chartered Economists urges focus on implementation to avert policy failure.
Once the policies are being rolled out, its implementation is where we don't want to see that these things that government says is going to do is doing.
We'll bring you details of our headlines and other stories. Please stay with us. Go straight to our first story because the Ghana Union of Traders Association has issued a stern warning that recent utility tariff hikes approved by the Public Utility Regulatory Commission will jeopardize the country's success in reducing inflation. Speaking on business focus, the head of Business and Economic Bureau at Kuta, Charles Kusi Appiah-Ampofo, cautioned the increase will inevitably translate into higher operational costs for businesses, forcing them to raise prices for consumers. The new tariff, a 9.8% increase in electricity and a 15.9% increase in water, are viewed by Traders Union as a direct threat to macroeconomic stability achieved through the months of disinflationary efforts.
We are in a country that what we are trying to do and that we are advocating for is to make an environment conducive and competitive to the sub-Saharan African country when it comes to cost of doing business. If we make mistakes and we accept any increment, it means we are going to outrun businesses by 25.75% in terms of cost of doing business. That will make nonsense of single inflation. That will make nonsense of reduction in policy rates. And that will mean that cost of doing business will go high by 25.75%, relative tariff increment from the electricity and that of water. It also means that the disposable income of the other Ghanaians will also be depleted by 25.75%. That's all we are looking for as businesses.
You heard the head of Business and Economic Bureau at Kuta, Charles Kusi Appiah-Ampofo there. Meanwhile, the Minority Caucus in Parliament is demanding the immediate reversal of the recent utility tariff, labeling the government's decision as insensitive and a failure to leadership. Addressing journalists, the ranking member on the Energy Committee, George Kwame Abuaje, asserted the hikes reflected failed leadership and poor policy choice that will only worsen the living conditions of Ghanaians.
This year, you get $80 to $90 million losses. Why does the government ignore this reality and instead impose measures that further impoverish Ghanaians? Instead of fixing the system, the government has chosen the lazy path of shifting its failures onto already sovereign consumers. This will completely wipe out the meager 9% wage adjustment for 2026. If the government does not listen to the call to withdraw the tariff hikes, they are going to cause 1, escalating utility poverty, leaving more families unable to afford basic electricity. 2, collapse of SMEs, which form the backbone of our economy due to unbearable operating costs. We are already experiencing a teeming unemployment youth in the country. Job losses as industries scale down or shut down operations. 4, reduced productivity and competitiveness, further weakening the economy. And then 5, heightened social and economic hardship, deepens the suffering of workers and households.
And that was the ranking member on the Energy Committee, George Kwame Abuaje there. The Institute of Chartered Economists Ghana is pushing the government to maintain sharp focus on implementing the 24-hour economy policy, cautioning that Ghana's history of poor policy execution could undermine the initiative. The Institute of Chartered Economists Ghana noted that while the policy holds promise, the government must be ready to quickly address challenges that arise during the implementation process. Now, Chief Economist at ICEG, Gideon Imisa, specifically highlighted the crucial role of the private sector.
Once the policies are being rolled out, its implementation is where we don't want to see that these things that government says is going to do is doing, because the policy overall, looking at it, it's something that we may have to encourage government to do. Of course, when you start implementing it, then you see the bottlenecks and challenges therein, challenges that would all come up. We know that if government continue with the trajectory that it's going, these policies could be implemented to the benefits of the Ghanaian. With the 24-hour economy, would encourage government to roll in the private sector and give some incentives to the various subsectors that would want to support government in that policy. And I believe when that is done, then we can see the fruition of the 24-hour economy.
You heard the voice of Gideon Imisa. He's the chief economist at the Institute of Chartered Economists Ghana. Now, the Executive Director for MPL Health Insurance Ghana, David Leonard, has partially attributed the country's low insurance penetration rate to the prevailing low income levels among the population. Ghana's insurance penetration currently hovers around 1%, a figure that reflects a significant gap in the uptake of insurance products across health, life, and property sectors. Leonard acknowledged that while economic factors play a substantial role, he stressed that insurance companies themselves must step up their efforts to improve their statistic.
To some extent, low income levels is a factor. Perhaps the insurance have not been able to develop product that actually resonate with the population of Ghana. Several factors, but as an industry, it is not a secret that we need to do more. We need to do more. So you have conversation around micro-insurance solutions. And as income levels rise, as we build a rising middle class, we need to educate more, and the word must go out that insurance is not an expense, it's not a cost, it's a financial protection tool, actually. And so and a lot more has to be done by way of education. But insurers must put a product that resonates with their client today. And when it comes to claims payment, it is the reason why we exist, and we must delightfully pay the claims as well. As we collect the premiums with smiles, we must pay the claims when the time comes. That is the focus.
The Executive Director for MPL Health Insurance Ghana, David Leonard, there. Now, before we go, let's take a look at how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some key commodities are also faring on the global market.
On the interbank foreign exchange markets, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 42 pesewas. It's gained a pesewa. The British pound is selling at 15 cedis 21 pesewas. It lost 5 pesewas. The euro is selling at 13 cedis 27 pesewas. It also lost 5 pesewas. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a Forex Bureau near you. On the global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $62.41 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,185.67 per ounce, down by $12.11. Cocoa is trading at $5,701 per ton, up by $5.
That was an update from the Forex and commodities markets. That'll be all for business news here on Sunrise 3FM 92.7. For more news, please check our websites at 3news.com. I am Enyona Paliga. Sunrise continues.
.7 3FM.
The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy.
On the morning show, it's time for us to continue for you here on the 3FM Sunrise. We get into the weather update for you pretty shortly with Chief Weather Forecaster Felicity Ahafianyo. We'll get that from her, and then we will proceed with newspaper review. But before we do the newspapers, we get a song of inspiration for the morning as well. After that, we get into the newspapers for you this morning, and from there, we connect with you, our most cherished and distinguished listener who's tuned in and joined us this morning. You can do that if you take down these numbers, and we open the phone line so you can share your thoughts with us as well. 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717 as well as 055-691-0154. 055-691-0154. Those are the numbers by which you can reach out and share your thoughts with us on all of the subject matters we'll be discussing during the newspaper review, as well as the big ticket items lined up for today. And so, if you're just tuning in, this is the 3FM Sunrise, the best breakfast show in the capital and beyond. Find us as well on Facebook. Our handles 3FM927. That's where we're streaming this morning's show for you as well. You find us on YouTube as well. Same handles 3FM927, where we're streaming and we'll bring you exclusive details of everything that happens. And it's a big lineup for you today. The Majority Chief Whip expected to be a part of the morning's breakfast show. Send in all of your questions as to what it is that you want us to ask him, even as we ready ourselves to roar into Tuesday, the 9th of December 2025. And like I mentioned, a busy news day, but of the many things we're expecting in this week as well is that presentation of the Utumfuo-led mediation work to the president somewhere Thursday. Also, the Interior Minister, the Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, has ordered investigation into claims, threats against the life of the office or the special prosecutor, not the office, but the special prosecutor in person. Also, the claim by the Director of Research and Communication that he was assaulted by some 17 police officers after he was handcuffed. I will seek to get into all of that for you if you stay with us here on the show. But let's start off first with the weather update. Felicity Appiah-Ampofo is our chief weather forecaster. She's joined us this morning. Good morning, Felicity. I trust that all is well with you.
Yeah, good morning, Mawuena. Yes, the Bible says give thanks in every circumstances. Better today than yesterday.
That's fantastic. Felicity, what are we to expect this morning in terms of the weather?
Yes, this morning, after the rains that engulfed the extreme south last in the afternoon till evening, we expect it to become partly cloudy. The sun will also smile through, and then we expect temperatures to be around 32, 33 for the coastal strip, 34, 36 for the middle and the transition. The north, we expect them to have 37, 38 with dry and hazy conditions. In terms of rain, yes, we still expect some localized development of rain over the eastern region, part of central, part of western and western north. The Volta region, we expect just a few areas, especially those around the middle sections. For the Greater Accra, some few places that share borders with eastern region are also likely to have some cloudy situations and possible some showers. The state of the sea is expected to become. However, we have some rain and thunderstorms towards Cameroon. Libreville area is quite massive, so fisher folks that may want to navigate towards that direction need to do it with caution, or if they need be, they just have to relax, do it another time. We expect it to move westward, so later it will spread to those around Nigeria, into Benin, and possible it may come into our waters too. So they should keep tuned with GMET on our social media handles for updates on the state of the ocean.
Right then. Thank you very much, Felicity, and do have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, and same to you too.
That's Felicity Appiah-Ampofo. She's our chief weather forecaster for the morning, helping us understand what the expectation is for the weather. Let's get into our song of inspiration for the morning, and this one is by MOG. It's the latest. He calls this one Joy.
92.7 3FM.
The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom.
That's been captured on the front pages of some of the papers. We're going to be getting into in a short while. We're doing 24 to the top of the hour 7. But do find us on social media. We're streaming live on Facebook. Our handles 3FM927. Same handles on Twitter as well. 3FM927, as well as on YouTube 3FM927. And we will seek to read out your messages, the messages you'll be sharing to us on our respective streams, Facebook and YouTube. Stories on the front page today. Over the top of 5. No, it's 4. It's 4. The lead one is with the President of the Republic. Portable Yes, portable lab unveiled for basic schools, STEM box to break barriers in science education. This comes with a picture of the president interacting with some of the pupils exhibiting their STEM projects using the STEM box at the launch of the box at Osu in Accra. Looking on is Charles Ofuri Antipem, second from left, CEO of Dex Technology Limited. That's what the front page is looking like. You see the president there engaged with a number of the students. From there, the story is by Severus Carl Derry, Severus' name. If you watch Harry Potter, you hear Severus. All right. Also, Interior Minister orders probe into Special Prosecutor assassination claim. Nkrumah returns. Second Coming rocks the African Festival, December 28 to 30. December to remember. We're in that month. And so there it is, a lot of celebration slated out for this particular month. In fact, all of the big shows are happening, and that's where the 3FM White Party comes in right in the center of it all. Also, mineral royalties surge across all subsectors. Justina Nelson, who's the Chief Executive Officer of MIF, is captured on the front page as well. First family support retired pastors, widows, as a news desk report, and police rescue kidnapped victim. That story was front and center on a lot of the newspapers from yesterday as well. The graphic has it here today. The Ghanaian Times newspaper, I am committed to building better Ghana. President Mahama reflects on December 7, 2024 polls as a picture of the president, almost similar in terms of the outfit, outfit from the front page of the Ghanaian Times, and then the graphic. President is in the same fabric. Also here, Ghana, Burkina Faso resolved to strengthen bilateral cooperation. Mr. Akibate presenting his letters of credence to Captain Traore. VIP calls on African leaders to strengthen health systems. Interior Minister orders probe into alleged assassination attempt on SP. Vacancy declared in Parliament following court-ordered Bandai rerun. I mentioned the majority chief whip is our guest in studio today. Is one of the many subject matters we'll be seeking to pick his thoughts on, because he had wanted the Bandai MP, the Honourable Matthew Nyindam, restricted completely from entering the legislature after the court's order. The speaker had said, look, this was supposed to take some 7 days, after which you can bar him from making his way into the House, but it does appear the House has taken a stand on this now. Muslim scholars, imams urge to spread cancer awareness messages. This is on the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. As well here, Minister directs MMDAs to ensure traffic-free U-Tide. That's the Greater Accra Regional Minister. Also on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. The final newspaper is what I have next. It reads, businesses on edge as utility prices climb. Also, BOG signals plan to ease liquidity mop-up in 2026. IMF cautions on pace of AI's economic impact. Natural gas, lithium led commodity gains as global markets diverge. What would this mean for our lithium agreement with Barari DV? Because one of the justifications which had come through was that lithium prices had plummeted, hence our royalty was being moved from in excess of 10% to 5% thereabout. It will be interesting to see what the government's position is, even though they say they are going to seek to amend the law, but that's where we are. Also here, the Daily Guide newspaper, give me power, I will give you jobs. Kennedy Ohene Japan is on the front page here this morning. Minority TUC rejects utility tariff hike. George Kwame Abuaji flanked by his colleagues, the minority member of parliament. Court dismisses Wuntumi's further document request. Ministry probes SP assassination claims. 5 arrested for robbery. All on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. The Overseer is the last one I have. Finance Minister charges Osu Tax Office staff to boost revenue, pledges support and incentives. Interference by chiefs, politicians undermining Galamsey fight, as according to NIMUS. Smear campaign against MIF CEO exposed. Story on page 2. Parliament notifies EC over vacant Bandai seats following court rerun order. And so, in about 30 days, there will be that by-election rerun. Those are the front pages of the newspapers. Let's just try and take you online pretty quickly in terms of what the online portals as well have lined up for us this morning, to see if they're any different from what the newspapers have for us this morning. I'll start off with 3news.com, then I'll go on to the others as to what is lined up from the online news portals this morning, even before we begin to get into the details as to what is expected from the papers. I've been talking to you about a number of them, but on 3news.com this morning, children in Greater Accra and northern regions have dangerous levels of lead in their blood. It's the latest report by the FDA in partnership with UNICEF. Clerk to Parliament notifies EC that Bandai seat is vacant. NACOC nabs 3 in connection with 1,158 kilograms suspected cocaine shipment to Belgium. Finance Minister urges Osu Tax Office staff to boost revenue, promises bonuses and digital tools. Western Region, 29-year-old lady run over by speeding truck after visiting brother at St. Mary's SHS Apoa. AjoyOnline.com, Office of Special Prosecutor has failed. Samuel Kujeto tears into Ghana's anti-corruption module. Scrap it. Samuel Kujeto says Special Prosecutor's Office has achieved nothing. Corruption is still everywhere. Samuel Kujeto says OSP missed its mission. And City Newsroom, OSP will disappear without constitutional reform. Professor Prempeh warns. So the OSP still in the newspapers very, very strongly. Ghana is a talk show country. Professor Bokpin and Anakomi, I didn't sell a single foot of STC land. Isankuma OSP must merge with DPP and Yoko to ensure independence. Sixtus will not be a happy man with all these conversations about scrap, OSP and all of that.
Remember, I'm against the scrapping of the office. That has not been clear in my... I'm very much against it. I don't think it is the way to go. I don't think that the solution is to throw away the baby with the bathwater. No, I think that we need to reassert its authority. We need to ensure that it is result-oriented. We need to, if it has to do with even your favorite expression, giving them KPIs and ensuring that they keep to the KPIs, that we must do. But this whole conversation about...
The board is not even in existence now.
Say it again.
There's no board.
There's no
board for the Office of the Special Prosecutor, actually.
But that should not be... That shouldn't even be a conversation at all, because the board of the OASP is very well defined by the Act.
No, I say the board because you mentioned KPIs. Okay. So I'm asking if there will be the giving of KPIs, who will give them KPIs? By an extension,
are you saying that the board of the OASP is not being composed as we speak?
There's no composition of a board.
That is serious.
Samed Aku himself said it in one of the interviews when Martin Kibu said he wanted the board of the OSP to do some work in relation to the consent he added. Samed Aku said Mr. Kibu knows the board has not been reconstituted, so he doesn't understand.
Which is a problem. How is it running without a board? How is a public institution running without a board? An accountability institution for that matter. How is it running without a board? You get it. Does that mean that upon the expiration of Linda Oforikwafo's tenure, there's been no recomposition of the board?
That's what it suggests.
Wow, that's serious. I honestly think that, and I even believe that we should eventually have the OASP get a constitutional mention. It should become one of the constitutional bodies. As for this whole argument about it's been there for 7 years or 8 years, but we are seeing no results, come on. the ones that are even there are much older than the OASP. Are we getting results from them? Really? Let's not mention any institution so that it will appear as though there's a direct attack. No, I don't want to go down.
No, we are not attacking. We're just asking legitimate
let's look
questions.
at all the other public institutions. I mean, what's the turnaround time for them? There are problems with the office of the special prosecutor. Let's deal with the problems. This whole thing that, going around looking for a bad name for the dog so we can hang it, it's not working. And it shouldn't.
That's how you see it. Right?
That is how I see it. If we have a problem with the head of the institution, let's have a conversation around the head of the institution. What are the sins of the head of the institution? Are those sins pardonable? Can we give the head of the institution a second chance? That's the conversation we should be having. But because we have a problem with the head of the institution, we said, Sayaka, when you started this whole conversation, and that was the impression I got from the majority leader when he submitted on the floor of the House. And I was seriously disappointed. And at a point, I was like, why? Is it because you had your own issues with the OASP? The majority leader has had serious issues with the OASP. Martin Amidu at the time.
But to be fair to him, I think when the bill was being considered in the 7th Parliament, he was one of the voices who
yes, he's always been consistent. That's what I said. That's why I said. That's why, please, so that I'm not misunderstood. I am saying that the position, the kind of force with which we had the argument. Remember, I said, we told you when you started this whole campaign, we told you it won't work. Now, give me my stone or give us our stone. Now is the time to scrap it. And I'm now asking, are we saying, or is the majority leader saying that position is informed or further entrenched by the problems that he had with then head of the institution, Martin Amidu? Is that the case? Otherwise, we cannot argue. We cannot argue that in the course of the 8 years that this office has been alive, we have not seen a single good about it, or that it has shown some amount of potential to say that, okay, if we tweak here, reform here, rebuild this one, rearrange this or realign that, the office will become workable enough for us.
I agree with you, but have you read Manasseh's recent post in relation to the PPE case?
No.
Perhaps you should read it.
What is his argument?
We'll have a conversation.
What is his argument? No, you are talking to us, not me. No, what is his argument?
So there are indeed very serious things or serious concerns in relation to the office of the special prosecutor. If everything he says is what you can go by.
Mawuena,
one,
are those concerns relax? No, I'm putting it in perspective. Relax. I'm not cutting you. Are those serious concerns with Kisi Ejabeng as special prosecutor? Or those serious concerns are with the office of the special prosecutor?
It will be left for me and you to deduce. And so, of the many things, charges were filed against Mr. Appiah. The OSP at some point in time said, there were problems, and so they discontinued the case and went to file charges again. The same charges were filed. The charges which they said had issues, what. They went to court, filed the same charges. Evidence which were on drives which could have been submitted to the court and what have you were not submitted. He's testified before. He's been asked to come and render the same testimony again in the case and all of that. He looks at all of these and says, it's like you take one step forward and you take about 5 back. And in that particular instance of the case, little to no progress has been made whatsoever since it was referred.
Okay.
And it leaves him at a place where he says he doesn't think he wants to collaborate or cooperate with the OSP in proceeding with this case again, because he's availed himself time without number And the OSP has not done justice in terms of dealing with the case in the court.
In fact, availed himself at his own costs. I'm not sure they give him transport
Absolutely.
anytime he goes to court. So I get the concerns, and the question comes up again: these lamentations, are they about the efficiency of the personnel of the office, or the office in itself?
The personnel make up the office.
No, rephrased. If we changed the personnel, would the office run smoothly? That's the question I'm asking.
Well, it could.
Exactly. But why you think? How many times has the Attorney General not discontinued cases? Discontinuance of cases is a very normal thing in the criminal prosecution system. It is not a strange thing. I'm not holding brief for the office of the special prosecutor.
And it's important we're having this conversation.
I am not speaking for the office of the special prosecutor. Relax for me. In fact, I have no knowledge of the facts that Manasseh talks about. I don't know anything about it.
Which is
I am
fair.
just saying.
If we change the personnel, will the office
work? So, for instance, if it were a different prosecutor handling the what's his name again? ABAJ? It was the former PPP boss.
Yeah, ABAJ.
It's ABAJ.
Yeah.
If we had a different prosecutor handling that case, would the outcome have been different? Would Manasseh have been a bit more satisfied with the process than it is now? Those are questions we should be asking. But to say that because Sami Dako is annoying you or annoying all of us, then
I'm not sure that's even come up. Someone's annoyance has come up.
Or because Kisi Ejabing has allowed Keno Foriata to slip out of the country, then we must scrap the office. That is not logical for me. It's not.
The purpose of that office is the fight against corruption. And today is International Anti-Corruption Day, the 9th of December. And so perhaps a bit more justification as to why all the papers have it. But the claim about assassination attempt against the person of the... Cleared it all. The assassination attempt against the special prosecutor and as well the assault on Sami Dako is now a subject matter of investigation. From what we understand from the Interior Minister yesterday, the attempt against the life of Kisi Ejabing happened before this year. There is no record of it being reported to the police or any security agency. And investigations are to be conducted into that claim of alleged assassination attempt, because the Interior Ministry says that they contacted the special prosecutor to get details of these claims of attempt on his life. And as well, the assault of Sami Dako by some 17 police officers who handcuffed him.
According to Sami Dako.
Yes, according to him. Quick thoughts on that as well. And for me, what was very instructive was the fact that this had not been reported to any security agency whatsoever.
That's why I said according to Sami Dako. Because you see, it's another problem that the office has caused for itself.
No, I'm not sure it's a problem.
Relax.
As for that,
Mawuena.
I will want you to relax for me on a problem.
What am I going to say?
Because
what am I going to say?
An attempt on the life of the special prosecutor possibly cannot be a problem if it is brought to light, because nobody's life should be under threat because of their job. That's the point I want to make. So
what am I going to say?
No, I'm just laying
you presume to know what I'm going to say. I just say one. I mention one word.
I didn't presume to know.
I beg you.
I just laid the foundation.
I need to say this on air. People are listening to us.
Yeah.
And some of these interjections are not helpful.
Okay.
Because the people who are listening, listen to your callers. When they call in, they don't have patience to even oh, this person said this, I probably did not understand what the person said.
Right.
And issues like this are, relax. You are still doing that.
So
relax.
Finish for me.
Relax.
Finish for me.
So I beg you need to always be patient to listen to the person before you interject. I just said, this is another problem. You said, no, you won't allow me to say that.
No, I'm not saying.
Meanwhile, you have no idea what I'm going to say. Okay, you finish the statement for me. What was I going to say?
Proceed.
No, I won't proceed. You finish the statement for me.
How do I effectively?
No, you cannot.
How do I effectively
because
referee?
He's been consistent.
Referee.
You cannot. He's consistently done that.
Counsel. So how we put it to him?
No, I haven't even gotten there yet.
We haven't even put it to him.
Not yet.
Oh, and it's been overruled.
I take a seat back.
See, you need to relax, so that when you do that, I make disjointed statements. The listener doesn't get a full picture of my perspective.
Absolutely.
Some of them will call in and give it to me, both bars. And a lot of the times, I'm not able to come back here to explain myself. I beg you.
Okay.
It's a conversation we are having.
Yeah, most definitely.
So what was that?
What's the name of this haircut? It's called Only God Can Judge.
That's my usual haircut.
Hey, and the son added that white to show the demarcation.
No, it's called.
Then the line
shape
up.
Are you adding up to the shape?
Oh, sorry, shape. It's called the shape. Yeah. Looking sharp.
So the point I sought to make is this: the time that the incident happened, there was the need for an official report to have been lodged with the relevant state institution. If you'd recall, there was a time there was this whole about bulletproof car for the SP. And safety of the SP came up. And if you Google now, you get a lot of perspectives. People were like, why the SP is more important than the president or the vice president? Because if you know, apart from the president or the vice president, no one else rides in a bulletproof car. Some even suggested that even the president was not using a bulletproof car. How much more the SP? So this conversation has come up, but the reasoning was not given. If it was a decision by the office not to disclose the attacks against the person of the SP, that's a different matter. But there should have been at least an official report and an investigation into the attacks. We couldn't have been having people attempting, and it wasn't just one attempt, according to Sami Dako. So we have attempts on the life of a citizen. Forget that he's the SP. Helen, if I receive death threats right now, as we said now, if you send me any message and I don't read it well, I'm going straight to the police with that message.
You're not.
How much more?
Taking any chances?
I'm not taking any chances. How much more the special prosecutor? So the reason I said it is another problem for the special prosecutor is that the fact that the incidents were not reported makes it difficult for people to believe. If you scan the media landscape yesterday, that was a discussion.
That's right.
People are even saying that this may be a PR gimmick to court sympathy.
Really?
At the time that the SP has come under fire. You shouldn't leave room for such speculations. So I'm not saying that I'm not even about to think that, we should brush these aside. The life of the special prosecutor doesn't matter, or the officers don't matter, and so it's a lie. No, I will not joke with threats to anybody's life. I have just said, if you send me a message that doesn't sit well with me, I'm going straight to the police, which is what every other person expected. Reasonable person expected to have happened. So the disclosure now, late as it may have come in the day, should not be taken lightly. It should not.
It hasn't been taken.
My disappointment is that the minister says there is no record of the incident. Even the one that Sami says they handcuffed him and all of that. the minister says there's no record of it.
That one, was he in office as Director Comms of SP? Because I listened to him. I think he made that statement on Newsfile on Saturday, and I watched him. I think he might have been speaking on a separate issue when he wasn't in the OSP.
In his private capacity?
In a different lifetime. And I think it's gotten bundled together. I don't believe he meant that he was handcuffed and beaten when he was...
in the execution of the
It's good you're bringing
Yes.
that context, because
Yes.
the bit I heard was about the threat on the SP's life.
That one
No,
was...
I heard about both.
That one was an aside. I think they were talking about how people are manhandled by security personnel, and he was giving his own account. I believe this is prior to working with the SP, so his was separate. But in the way that he said it, it seemed as though he was referring to...
Now all the outlets picked it up as though...
But I listened to him carefully. I think that one was separate. But is it the case that the SP can say that, well, a threat on my life is being investigated by the office itself?
No.
It cannot be?
No. How does the office have a mandate to
officer,
investigate?
it doesn't have
threats, such criminal acts. No,
theirs is
yours is corruption and corruption related. If there's a threat against an officer of the unit, then that threat must be lodged with the institution that has the mandate and the capacity to do so.
I say so because the OSP seems to be expanding their tentacles in certain areas. At one point, we're told that we don't do money laundering, but we see you doing it. You've arrested Martin Kwebo for obstruction of an officer's duty. That doesn't fall within your remit.
Oh no, that one, it can happen.
It can happen like that. Okay, I've been reading.
But even for that, the argument was that because it's not within the money, when you arrested him, hand over.
Okay.
So
that you become witnesses in the case.
Yes, you can cause for him to be arrested, but you
that is an
hand over.
argument I'm amenable to accept.
So it's as though, because now we don't know, you and Kasa, what is your mandate?
Exactly
you keep
your
expanding. Job. So if somebody tells me that they wanted to add
all of that feed into my premise that this is another problem that the OSP has caused for itself.
I wish, because of everything that is happening, this wasn't another thing that they added to the list of reasons that Ghanaians are annoyed.
That is the reason the other school of thought says that this is a PR gimmick.
To garner sympathy.
Exactly. So it's not a good place the OSP is in now.
To be fair,
it's not.
To be fair to the SP, to the special prosecutor.
Yeah.
And I am making this argument based on the statement from the Interior Ministry yesterday. It says that they contacted the SP and the confirmation of the alleged attempts are from before this year.
Yes.
And so I get the indication
even before this year, they were not specific.
Exactly.
Whether 24, 23, 22.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I get the indication that the SP may have confirmed to the minister. Reason for which he says crime doesn't expire. We will investigate it so that we deal with anybody who seeks to threaten the life of the SP. And so that's why I want to say that, to be fair to him, if he's given the minister that, and remember, like Sixtus said, it could have just been a message, like he was saying, because the threat has come. Perhaps our mind, but wait, it said it was an attempt. It said it was an attempt and not a threat, right? Was it an attempt or a threat?
No,
I think we have to clarify that.
Attempts would mean that you
tried, but you were not successful.
Exactly.
For your failure, the crime would have been committed, and the OSP would have been long gone by now.
Exactly. I just want to clarify whether or not
serious matter.
I was making the argument bordering on threat, but if it is an attempt, then it is even more serious, because it has moved from I will show you something to actually wanting to show the person something.
Okay, I get your argument now. Yes.
And that's why I'm saying that
it means that there were active steps taken
absolutely
to execute whatever plot it was.
Exactly.
But there were some other interventions that stopped the success.
So the
of
story says assassination attempts.
Yes.
Then that moves to realms of.
So it wasn't just a plan that was cooked up in somebody's house.
And he got wind of.
No. The person cooked up the plan, took steps to execute the plan, but some other intervening, there's a term for it, intervening
forces
or force or effects. You can put any English word there and it will still make sense.
Circumvented that potentially harrowing experience.
So you see, the special prosecutor, more so because of the work that the office does, comes under a lot of public scrutiny. And if the office is doing its job well, it should have so many enemies that the special prosecutor will not be safe at any point in time and will warrant even military protection. But if these things happen and we don't leave the trail, then when we bring it up, it's like we are just looking for a way out of other things. But I think it is good. It is commendable that Montaka is taking the matter up.
Yeah, it's one that should not be taken lightly.
It shouldn't be taken lightly.
Also because when the statement was made, it came off as though the attempt had happened under this administration, to be fair. And so it will come with a bit more urgency to understand why is this coming up now. Because the government has made its position very clear that in all of the talk that scrap the office, remove the SP and all of that, the government says, I have no interest whatsoever in removing the special prosecutor or anything. And so the moment a comment comes through and says, attempt on the life of the special prosecutor, it is in the interest of the government who says, I have no business in whatever you do, just do your job, let me also govern, to want to ask the question, was this when I assumed office? Who made these attempts on your life? Have you reported it to the police? How come there's no record of this being reported to the police anywhere and what have you? And that's why I think we are. You're scrutinizing for some extra details.
Yes, I was. But I think it's the same thing. Maybe the perspective that Helen, or the context that Helen brought up, if we could get the voice to play, to be able to separate the issues, yes. But I think essentially it's the same thing that all the papers are reporting. And indeed, the voice, the conversations are monitored on other channels. It's all been the same, as though the two incidents happened or occurred, in the course of their duties as officers of...
No. In fact, when the panel are free-flowing and, they say, oh, even me, at some point, they did this to me. And sometimes, even me, at some point, I've been beaten by policemen and handcuffed. But I really think this is talking about in a different life, not in that. Okay. I can't see Sami Darko in the capacity of Sami Darko being beaten by 17 officers and handcuffed and nobody saw, nobody videoed, nobody... That one, I think, would be far-fetched. But I also think the OSP...
Are you saying he was beaten when he was working as a journalist?
Oh, he used to work as a journalist.
Yeah, he is.
I think that's when he was actually talking about, because Manasseh was also in the conversation via Zoom on that particular platform. So I think they were just recounting how they've, suffered at the hands of security personnel before. He also chipped that in, but it was around the time he also talked about the assassination attempt, and I think it has all gotten lumped together. Should the special prosecutor give us a press conference off the back of this? Another one loading.
No. SP, we beg you.
This one would be
no more press
completely
conferences.
Unnecessary.
We will do the talking for you.
Maybe the final one to clear everything up. We've had Ankwanoma, we've had different ones.
No.
Look, the next press conference by the SP should be
resignation.
No. No. That has not even. We are nowhere near that.
The next press conference.
We are nowhere near that.
Sixtus, you cannot be
should
serious.
Be notifying us that
we are not nowhere near an SP press conference
on resignation.
No, I mean, the fire is so much. Is there anywhere else for SP to turn? The citizens said, don't come here because your stories are long. Where is the SP going to turn to?
The SP can turn by delivering Keno Foriata.
That's what I was going to say at the press conference.
Which is what he's focused on doing now.
That press conference,
and he should focus on doing that.
If he is to, if
the next press conference, and that is where Mawuena and I will agree.
Yeah. Oh, are you saying you disagree on a lot of things?
Oh, yeah, a lot of things. So he said, press conference, and that one I will beg that I'll cover it myself.
Yeah.
I think OSP has deactivated their X page.
That is not possible.
That's not possible. They have.
No, don't say that again.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Go and look for it.
I have to check.
People pick it right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please, they are here. Yay, Pachemi. He has not deactivated.
Repeat.
The OSP Ghana page is still very much active.
Thank you. When was the last post?
16 hours ago. They were telling us about the
Say, I am sorry.
I am, in fact, deeply remorseful.
Thank you.
Deeply, deeply remorseful.
So the next press conference we are expecting from the SP will be to say, I am happy to announce that Ken Ofori-Atta has been brought back into the jurisdiction. You don't believe it?
The way the extradition processes we're told are complex, I don't know when he can come and deliver that speech to us. I think he should come and tell us more about this assassination claim, because his reputation is being
I think that just
dragged.
Leave it as it is. And I don't even know whether it was a statement that Sami intended to make on that show, or it just
came the pressure.
Maybe he was talking. There are things that you don't really plan to say.
Pressure bab you.
You are talking, and yes, it just comes out. So you have to.
Because every time he speaks, he's under pressure. People want to know what is going on in that office, and he wants to know that even his boss is risking his life to ensure that we get accountability.
So the office shouldn't speak to this matter again. The SP himself shouldn't speak to it. The Minister Interior says a committee has been constituted or will be constituted. Let that committee be constituted. Let that committee work, and let that committee speak to us. Special prosecutor has to concentrate on the Ken Ofori-Atta matter, which is what is causing a lot of public anger and disaffection for the office. But scrapping the office? No. We are nowhere near that. A press conference to announce? We are nowhere near that.
What did you make of what legal director of the NDC, also NPACU, Edijuta Maklo, said, that it would be a political trap for the president to even court the idea of scrapping the office of the special prosecutor?
See, the mere existence of the office places Ghana on a certain level at the international stage, that this is a country that is ready to fight corruption. Even for the optics alone, it is good for us as a nation. Forget international stage. Come back home. The mere fact that public officers know that if you chop money you are not supposed to chop, OSP will invite you. That alone is also deterring enough.
But Sixtus,
I'm not saying it's enough.
Okay.
I'm saying it is deterring enough. But it is not the end.
But deterrence has not proven to be an effective tool to stop people from
engaging. Which is why they now have to do the job and make sure that the prosecution happens, and that the people who are caught on tape giving bribe do not win the cases that are brought.
And my last question, gentlemen, we don't have this same kind of heat of smoke for Iyoko. For who are some of our other CID,
NIB?
Is it because
FIC?
They don't come and promise us?
How many people even know about the Financial Intelligence Center?
Very good.
How many people know? But the kind of work the FIC is supposed to be doing, if it is done, will even prevent it will cut off some of the responsibility on the OSP. You get it? So I was actually going to make that point when he said, it's been 8 years, we are not seeing any results from them. You remember I said we can't begin to mention institutions. But let's be honest. The Iyoko has come under fire before. Did we scrap it? Iyoko has had his own fair share of problems, controversies. CID, is it CID or CID under Mame Tewa? It has come under serious fire.
I don't think I'm for one saying scrap it or me when I say I'm just pushing the sentiment of individuals. All I'm saying is that I agree with you on the points that look, other institutions equally need to come under the same pressure to deliver in terms of the corruption fight.
It's because they are not doing press conferences.
Let's chill. Let's chill for the OSP.
Right.
If we want to talk about reshuffling.
Let's do the Pandai quickly, because we know that the House has officially notified the Electoral Commission that seat is vacant. There's expectation that the rerun will happen. It looks like there's another
7 days are over.
Yeah, there's another by-election in the office.
Rerun.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a by-election and a rerun. Just for the purposes of clarity.
No, there is a rerun.
It's a rerun. It's not a by-election.
But it will still. I think a by-election. I think we're having this conversation in the newsroom whether or not it was a rerun or was a by-election, and the conversation concluded by saying that once a government has been formed, any election that subsequently happens, whether a court orders it, whatever happens, it's a by-election, right?
No.
Because the government has been. That was the conclusion.
So let me try to explain. A by-election is a product of a valid election in which the office has become vacant due to maybe resignation, death. Those are constitutional issues. So you've been elected a member of parliament. And
Googled it.
Actually, the last time you and I had this banter, I Googled the distinction, and I think it's in tandem with what Sixtus is saying.
Okay. So you've been elected a member of parliament.
Because I remember we argued this extensively in the newsroom.
I see.
Yeah.
So you've been elected a member of parliament. And the Constitution says defines ways by which you can lose your seat as a member of parliament. But your election has been upheld to be valid. There's no contention, there's nothing about it, no controversy about it. Then either you die on the seat or whilst in office, or you resign from your office, or you become so incapacitated, maybe you run colo, then we say we have to replace you in the office. That becomes a by-election. But a rerun occurs when there's a nullity of the process. So your election has been invalidated or nullified. That then gives rise to a rerun. So the court is simply saying that all that happened, EMFA.
Right.
Oh, fantastic. Are you Google? A by-election is a specific election held to fill a vacant political office between regularly scheduled elections, typically caused by resignation, death, or disqualification of the incumbent. A rerun, on the other hand, is an election that is ordered to be repeated after the initial election was invalidated due to malpractice or irregularities, often ordered by a court, and can occur for part or the entire constituency.
Counsel, so in this argument, if you recall, part of the reason the NPP is fighting it is that
it should have been
specific polling stations.
A list a number of them.
It was a rerun.
It was a rerun. Specific polling stations.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yes. So it's
that difference ought to be clarified. But whilst we are at it, the Akwa sub-region, we have to continue to keep, because I'm seeing reports of some 11 Nigerian military personnel currently in Burkina Faso. They are being held hostage because they flew into their airspace, and the AES says the place is restricted, so you have no business flying.
In Burkina Faso?
Yes. We just have to...
Where were they going to?
Only God can tell. As to where they were going to, but that's what we're picking. We'll seek to get an understanding as to what's happened from there. So 11 Nigerian military officials held hostage in Burkina Faso. Even as Ghana is strengthening ties between ourselves and Burkina Faso, it doesn't look like the rest of the sub-region outside of Ghana, particularly the Sahel countries. I don't think outside of Ghana they see a lot of friends within the sub-region. I'll be very honest. I'll be very, very honest.
So what, 11 army men have been captured? for invading the airspace. This is getting...
Oh, but Africa, West Africa, we shouldn't be fighting amongst ourselves.
This is getting a bit interesting.
This is not what our fathers who fought for political liberation, they intended for all of us to live at peace, to be one, to fight a common enemy, not to become the enemy. It's sad. It's sad that we are now fighting amongst ourselves. And there's so much suspicion, which is one of the reasons why this unification of
so the story is
Africa
reported
is
widely
in
Nigeria at this particular point in time. I just tried to get confirmation from the blogs and posts in Nigeria, and it does appear that Justin, so witness Nigeria, Justin, Burkina Faso detains Nigeria military plane, 11 personnel and what have you, and so that's what it's looking like. But
details as to why.
The whys is what it suggests: violation of its airspace. Perhaps we'll get some detail as to exactly what. The Alliance of Sahel State has reported that a Nigerian Air Force C-130 aircraft was forced to land in Dobo Dialoso, Burkina Faso on Monday after entering Burkinabe airspace without authorization, according to a post on X shared by security analyst Brand Phillip. Yeah, and so that's the Nigerian government in itself is yet to confirm this, but the reports are making the rounds, and we'll see what happens from there. It's just something for us to keep our eyes on in terms of development from across the West African sub-region for our attention. Any others before we quickly run out of the studio?
I want to tell Emmanuel Templar, he's on YouTube watching us. You don't eat abenkwan before bed.
Why?
Don't eat. He said he had a nightmare. Yes, that he was being chased by hippopotamus. in his sleep. He said he's traumatized. Emmanuel, good morning.
And this is the comment he wants to leave for.
Yes, I do empathize, but I just wanted to say stay away from either kokonte before bed or abenkwine.
How?
It was in one of our books growing up. I've forgotten the book.
Which
that
book is
it
that?
was. One of our textbooks.
Real?
Yeah, that don't eat. It's Ama eats abenkwine before bed. Heavy food before, and she had nightmares. So I've always known that you're not supposed to eat that before bed.
But the combinations you do, they're everyday night.
But I don't eat abenkwine before bed. I eat the combinations early, before bed.
Everyday nightmares.
What is saving me is I eat it early. But don't eat it too close to bedtime. And good morning to everybody on the stream. I don't know if anybody is giving us a message on our Facebook.
No. The Facebook, those giving us messages there now, people we have to delete, block and delete. Sweet Ajele, Christabel, something. Try delete all of them, block all of them.
Wait, let me go and see what
they're
is going
selling
on.
They are marketing
doing their own
thing. All right, that's all I have on that front.
All right, guys, thank you. Let me talk to you about Rosebank International University quickly. Today we have a special guest in studio, I believe, and we'll get into all of those matters pretty shortly. But Rosebank International University is a strong South African university and a brand of the AdVTech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City and Guilds in the UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, DBA, MBA, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We offer hospitality and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Our ICT as BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at our Airport Commercial Appiah House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens. We're back after this commercial break to have you share your thoughts with us via the number 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, as well as 055-691-0154, 055-691-0154. We're back after these.
92.7.
There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from. I trust that you're doing well.
Please, I'm doing well. My name is Ajana One from Kwadenya.
Ajana One, good to have you call us, talk to us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's a wonderful job you are doing for Mother Ghana. Let me say good morning to Madi Jibril and also Forestry Commission, Mr. Brown, whatever it is, you're doing a wonderful job. Mr. Mawuena, in fact, Africans have a...
We lost Ajana One on the telephone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mawuena.
Yes, yes. Good morning.
Mawuena Egbeta. I love your name.
Thank you very much.
My name is Jones Adogboy.
Jones Adogboy.
Calling from La.
From La. It's good to have you call us, talk to us this morning.
Yeah, I want to say good morning to Alfredo Nyanyete, La MCU. And also come back to my issue concerning the Abubushi market being taken over by the onion sellers back. Each and every day containers are being built there, and the place, in fact, is being taken over. We are asking the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Ullo, please, we beg you. The government has spent a lot there. You should move there and reclaim the place before it becomes another disaster again. Thank you. Also talking about the OSP. The removal of the OSP, in fact, I don't support the removal of the OSP. The OSP, as we all know, even though the government that installed the OSP didn't give...
My name is Aziz. I'm calling for Dome.
Aziz and Dome, let's hear you.
Thank you for having me this morning. Nature, Chief Director Karis McAfee, and my husband, Honorable MC, Honorable
Aziz, there's a lot of noise in the background from where you are. It's not allowing us here. Aziz, we lost on the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Could you kindly reduce the volume of your radio set, please?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Please.
Give us your name and where you're calling us from now.
Please, I'm called Great Ally from Donokonka Bridge.
Great Ally, talk to us this morning as well.
Yeah. First of all, Manya Wapidi, Mamefa, and Chakasema, MC, East, Mr. Abu, so Otenuka, the chair of Papane, Donoka constituency, MP. Madam Elephant Approval Sorting can the chair papa. Sure, so Uben who said a do ethnic stance here, Ebe Buddha. Na ye no na yama menemo, ni yen ya ban mo di channel. What about the Jukwana so after? Would you quite so far? Can we say yes, cast so enam? Or what Pamoa? I'm out now. I'll call your politics. I say yes, Mubaya Musi and Ton Ramase, the baby of Musi, no Pamir, I've been voting time baby. Now, I can't, Nipa Umpona AS Ajimano. But on your body, but I just would in a car, Quan Ton Romana car, the family. Now, a coup. That's another problem, Abba. And OSP, or no office media, sub your office media. Yet three classes say you go office, but Nipana or Hono, a Jimana or Yeno, and so and was sell me a day, almost a summer, and no dear, because Kaya de Momo every year they are on the allocated budget amount. That's still you at Mapabia or your wall.
Thank you very much for calling as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mawuena.
I trust that all is well with you.
By the grace of God and good, I thank you to your colleagues are always good in the studio.
Well.
Better than I'm a collection of boys in the East region.
And I'm good to have you call us.
Let me send my greetings to Honorable Bachi Ejako and insurance fund member of MPPA and can be accompanied with Ejako. But I know the same business of Manganamwa into Yamrano, a year achieving any JBana. No, the best Ghana police say. On my Ghana, the informer driver for work and pay you. Driver for Yenji on my Ghana work and pay. And I 24 check the driver for our Accra. Adiatia MCTD Central Police Station or Accra. Almost Accra round. You check us, you be 50 Ghana cities, any 100 Ghana cities. I think we police for Ghana, you jump Kana. Mr. Bona. For our Ghana, you Jomuka, Omuniaka, and Omoha, a driver for our Ghana Hasa. Again, a driver for a Ghana police. And the IGP Onimga the Mountain Omoyawahana. And then ministries, police station, any also police station. We are driving, Ofania, Nasa Dianca, as a Jews Casa Mwako. Aday, and Omo take a driver for our Ghana Hasa. The best I did is only the mountain in Kata. And now, Mokola law school anymore. Police at the sprint front. Police knew. But the sprint at Kamu and a kind of load our and a traffic action. A young man, no, I didn't say, not drive on the court. Let it say, a young mind. The best threat, the young or mine, no canning. And then the beer, the politician, and they get a backup position, you backup position, you can ask them, and I'll be your LP, you can ask them. Now, one way from the state institution, police for any almost the or money and box. Now, I'm for the show. the police for you go on man gonna animasi.
Thank you very much as well for calling Anamaku. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawuena Sixtus.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
I'm faring well this morning. I'm doing good.
That's good. That's
By
good.
the
That's
grace
good.
of God.
Give us your name as well, and let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, my name is Ima, calling from Amomole.
Ima and Amomole, talk to us.
Yes, sir. Yes. Have you seen where we are now? Finally, the Bandai seat has been declared vacant. Mawuena, when it comes to electoral malpractices or violence in our election, no political party comes close to the MPP. Honestly speaking, rigging elections, I'm telling you, I'll give you examples. Rigging elections or stealing the people's mandate. That is what MPP is notable.
I'm not sure you have proof of
rigging
and
listen,
stealing
look at
election.
the SAR issue.
Unless you are giving me proof, I will.
That's why I'm giving you the examples, the proofs. Were we not in this country? A whole constituency, SAR, Likpe and whatever.
Santro Kofi Akpafo and Likpe.
Come again.
Santro Kofi Akpafo and Likpe.
Yes, deliberately, together with the Electoral Commission, this EC chairperson and all that. On the eve of the day to the elections, she came out with what? A fiat that those people cannot vote, they cannot have an MP. Look at what's happening in Ayawasu West Wogon, Techimai, and all other places. Because of time factor, apart from 2000 elections, let me tell you, MPP has never won any credible election in this country.
I think that's not true. You can't say they've not won any credible election in the history of this country. I don't think you have any factual basis to say that. I don't think there is any factual basis to say that.
Who declared the election in 2004? I'm asking you.
I don't think there is. I mean, you can disagree with the individual declaring the election before the EC coming to it and all of that. I mean, we see that parties who always want to take the lead, but to say they've not won any election credibly in this country, you are overstretching the point, and that cannot be factual.
Okay, let me proceed. Okay,
but on the Pandai, it's also being challenged. Actually, it's also being challenged at the Court of Appeal as well as the Supreme Court, and so that is also there for all to see.
Thank you for the dedication. To conclude, when NDC is in governance, we don't experience such electoral malpractices. Tell me if I'm lying. Let's compare the two. Anytime MPP assumes the seat of governance in this country, that is when we experience all this electoral violence and all that. Why? MPP, why? Me, I know this government. I mean, what they've said before us, or what they started, churning out, the good governance, it will be difficult for this MPP party to come into governance again.
Thank you very much as well for calling, Ima. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I trust that all is well with you.
By the grace of God, I'm fine.
That's great.
This is right calling from Hamilton.
Talk to us, right.
May God continue to guide you and protect you and Honorable my only darling. Let me say good morning to Honorable Appiah-Ampofo in charge of operation. He's doing what and Honorable Peter T and Honorable Rauf Lebo guided and Honorable Courage McAfee Milepeku, the CEO for TDC. May God continue to guide you and protect you. OSP office, Minya sure say Ghana Libya Bekase office, Yengusa office, because it's about corruption. And MPP, former President Akufo-Addo, this office in Ebaye. And she said, this office ne ACO. Now, Nipana, it is what say, Untiminiajuma. And what says our office, a bit near the Fata. Ne, Juma dear old, ye one, ne Juma dear, and so Ghana for you. Taxpayers' money now, ye did Chanika, ɛwɔ OSP office hɔ no ɛsɔ Ghanafoɔ mu nti nipa na ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ hɔnom no ɛna ɛyɛ deɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛyi ne firi hɔ na yɛpɛ competent player nipa a obetumi ayɛ adwuma wɔ hɔ matia medu yɛdi ne si wɔ so ɔnyɛ adwuma ɛmfa boɔ ɔman no ɔnhu sɛ adwuma no ɔntumi nya no ɔresign yɛ ɛgya office no nti ɔno nso firi sɛ adwuma no a yɛde ama no na ebi mu afa kɔkyi kwan bi so abɔ ɔman ne korɔ no na kɔgye yɛ sika ɛmfa ma yɛ na afei bonwo nhyɛdi saa nkurɔfoɔ no a ɛyɛ kɛnofori ata nipa to ɔman Ghana hanom yɛne hospital bi ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana ho yare bɛn paa na kɛnofori ata ɛyare a wakɔtena aburokyire 1 year ni a ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔbɛba ɔman Ghana mu yɛhu sɛ ɔyɛ finance minister for good 7 years na ɔman Ghana mu ɛyɛ finance minister past finance minister biara ɛti ɔman Ghana mu ɛyɛ n'adwuma ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu deɛ nti na kɛnofori ata nko a yɛtu aba wie yɛpɛ ɔte wakɔtena aburokyire ɛna yare ɛna ɔsi ɔkɔkɔsa ne ho yare yɛnyɛ hospital wɔ Ghana ha ɔbɛtena asa ne ho yare wohyɛ pandaisit no ɛyɛ dɛn yɛ a yɛbɛkɔ ba re-election ɛwɔ hɔnom yɛkɔ so a NDC fɔ ɛkɔ so ɛyɛ campaign sɛ saa seat no ɛbɛsa bɛka NDC nsa because deɛ ɛbɛyɛ biara saa seat no yɛbɛgye saa seat no afei MPP fɔ nsa no yɛbɛgye yɛkyerɛ ɔman wɔ mu yɛwɔ 16 region but MPP fɔ nko ayi so only 2 region ɛde win election wɔ ɔman wɔ mu.
Thank you very much as well for calling. Looks like we may have lost the other individual on the telephone. Now you can call us as well and share your thoughts with us this morning. 055-924-2717 055-691-0154. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawuena. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What about you?
I'm good. I'm Lincoln.
Mr. Lincoln, it's good to have you call us. Talk to us.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I'm grateful about the work you are doing. And let me salute the CEO of Forestry Commission, Hughes Brown, for the good job he's doing in terms of
Mr. Brown, you guys have to bring him to the studio so we see his face. And then Alaji Kondo, you've been mentioning his name every day. We don't even know what they look like.
Yes. Anytime we get in touch with them, we'll let them come to your station. So
every morning it's the same individuals, but we don't know what my producer is even laughing.
You know, we are on the ground. We know what is happening. These people, sometimes, the work they are doing in terms of galamsey, and for me, some of them, I'm following them on social media. Somebody like your friend, Erastus Asari of Joy FM, you know the work he's doing. In the jungle. He's in the jungle with
Right. Proceed with your thoughts as well. I was just making that interjection just quickly.
Oh, I don't have problem with that.
Sure.
My good brother. Yes, about the road network. My town, if you go to Akuse, Astrare, the road is bad. Very, very, very bad. And I hope the road minister, Mr. Agboja, is listening. Because President Mahama has invested huge money into the road sector. And we are expecting that we also have our share. If you go to Greater Accra, Shaiwo, Sudoku, some of the quarry sites are located in our constituency. And my MP, Honorable Linda Ullo, has been lobbying for roads to be constructed. She's doing her best, but some of the roads, the MP cannot construct. It's only to lobby. So we are expecting, my brother, Kaswa Road, there is underground drain being constructed, started by the previous administration. Change of government, and the contractor has abandoned the place. And it's causing a lot of problems between the old barrier. There is a place called Siadan, Atala stretch, heading to, in fact, my brother, road minister should do something about it for us. Finally, let me say good morning to Kaswa MC, Honorable Seth Banini, for the good job he's doing with the MP, Honorable Linda.
Thank you as well for the call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother Mawuena. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yes, I'm well by God's grace. What about you?
Yeah, me that when I'm out, Roman and Nama.
I put me than a mouth.
Abo blue bado ko biamia no badoma.
You can actually. I'll just translate afterwards. That's no problem.
This is Frederick from Anwagavo.
Frederick, it's good to have you call us again. Talk to us, Frederick.
Yes, first of all, my greetings to the members of the government WhatsApp group. My regards to them. They are actually doing well by setting corruption agenda against the good people of Ghana. We are grateful for them. Mr. Mawuena, OSP is a prosecutor. Is that not so? Prosecutor can never go and arrest a suspect. It is the work of the security agencies. So I don't know why NDCs are trying to throw that into the eyes of Ghanaians. Ghanaians are waking up from their slumber that NDC have put them into. They are waking up from the sleep, the lies, the tongue that they used to lie against them, against Akufo-Addo, and now they're into government. They are not able to fulfill all their promises, the lies and the propaganda. They are not able. So Ghanaians are watching them, and then they want to use Kenoforiata as a scapegoat to cover their sins. You see, I will be happy for Kenoforiata. I will also make a call. I have his number though, and his driver's number. I will make a call to Kenoforiata to come back when NDC should have continued the Sagima housing project saga, or continue with Ato Forson's case, continue with a Guinea Fowl project issue, continue with a whole lot that they came into government and they dismissed all those cases. Now you want Kenoforiata to come back. We are demanding to know what is Kenoforiata's offense. You say Cathedral. Cathedral, the auditor report came out to indicate that Kenoforiata has done nothing wrong. Parliament actually approved the money, and the money has been awarded to the contractor. So it is left with the NDC government to allow the contractor to continue the job peacefully. So what is this brouhaha Kenoforiata to come because you wanted to cover the 60 million presidential jet issue? You wanted to cover the sanitary pass that you procured 45 cedi per sanitary pass, which we know years always and proper who are the best sanitary pads in the whole world are costing 15 cedi, 16 cedi, even in the local provision store. You see, but here is the case. NDC wanted to cover all these things with Kenoforiata. Tomorrow, when you hear their callers cannot even tell us the job that the party has created. What is the 24 hours economy that they promise Ghanaians? Every day when they woke up, they want to use Kenoforiata as a scapegoat. It's a lie. More educated Ghanaians, that is what Akufo-Addo says, every mini Ghanaian should go to secondary school so that they can have some basic knowledge. If NDC is coming to give them Ghanaian and sugar to deceive them to vote for them, they can wake up. Right. So no more short memory. 2028, we are going to do the needful thing by voting for economic messiah.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mahamadou Bawumia Sheikh, for that matter.
Thank you very much as well, Frederick, for calling. Hello, good morning. You're my last
Hello,
one caller. Yes, let's talk to us quickly. Ni Nungwa, talk to us.
Thank you. Greetings to Honorable Abolo and Honorable Chamajo and the youth and Madame Ellen. You know something? This man can't talk right now. Listen. Say Ubi Bisika. Now you can't watch someone who's a sunny party who can those kind of Nyama brother say the bounty. You say Kenoforiata Ombra Ghana tea. So your Bema Ombra Ghana. Now you say so the boba or your Bema Pana. So to myself, baby or your bar into the way done. So your Bema Ombra Ghana. And then I should say, so to myself, at the same time, soon. Nanama can be Nanama Kukano, are true? With IGP, some of the police people, especially Nungwa people, so do not drive Timrika, Chema, on the moto, I can see drivers, and it's a very bad. It's a very bad. So, on Mutua, Amber City, Ete City, and yet, so to myself, Nipano, Tano Kitan, and then also all managed the Shone Bushia for in Kakantaka, so to myself. So, in all the under city, sit away your cock on your Yaba, so to myself, and yes, young you know, money, and yet, quite a first one on in a year, police Banya peace. Timemofo muti time so Banya peace. Like a co asubeba, it is IGP. It's run when you send police a big year to my a big year. I salute them.
Thank you very much, Nee. And I just like to say, or to make the point that, look, when you come in, someone has made a point and you disagree, just go ahead with your point as well. Unfortunately, I've lost that caller as well on the line. I just have room to pick one final call. I'll do that right now. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Give us your name. You're my final caller for the morning. Give me your name and where you're calling us from.
Thanks. Glory be to God. I've gotten your life. I've been calling since.
It's good that you're here. Talk to us.
Mawuena.
Yes, sir. Give us your name as well.
I am Tutupachi Ashima Suba Kanable. Calling from Domekwabinga.
Right.
Taifa to be precise.
Okay.
Let me say a very good morning to you and thank you for the good work that you are doing for Madagascar. My good brother, you know something? There is something that going on in this country. If we don't voice out and come out boldly to speak against it, we will sit aloof and then see the country go astray. Something. This issue of the office, somebody came from the special prosecutor's office alleging that he was beaten or attacked by 17 policemen. All be lie. All be answer.
I think we've been clarifying that the context was different. It wasn't that they were in the office of the special prosecutor when they were beaten. We've been seeking to clarify that. My colleague Helen was doing that, and so that clarity needs to be put out.
No problem. And I am still at the special prosecutor's office. So, you know something? The truth must be told. This man, in a person as Kwesi Ejabe, is just playing with our intelligence. You know why? And I don't fault him a lot because all what we knew was that Akufo-Addo intentionally put up this office just to go after his opposition people. And you know why? You say, so indeed, for God being so good, even for our own party, the NDC, we have people who said bad things against the former president, right now the current president, John Dramani Mahama, that he himself and his people are criminals. They've done this, they've done that, they've done that. But these people came and they didn't see one single fault that was with them. And they went ahead, put this man, Alamisi, for the first time in the special prosecutor's office. And he ended up mentioning and then making it clear to all the world that Akufo-Addo and his people, and Akufo-Addo is the mother serpent of corruption.
Thank you as well for calling. That's our final caller for the morning. Mutala Yakubu is here to do sports. United is back because
temporarily, it's been that inconsistent.
Progress is being made.
What is progress? You beat Wolverhampton Wanderers.
You are level on points with the high-flying Chelsea.
I know, but Wolves have been the whipping boys of the Premier League this season, and Manchester United have dropped. Manchester United and Chelsea are behaving like chameleons. Today they are good, tomorrow they are not good. How can you beat Barcelona? You go and get a draw against Arsenal with 10 men. Then you go on and lose your next game. And you draw your next game against the likes of Bournemouth. You lose against Leeds. Like, what is really wrong with these two teams?
You come and do sports.
Well, Let's now do some sports here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Coming up this morning, we will talk about the FIFA World Cup draw because Mawuena Appiah-Ampofo is still in the United States and monitoring proceedings there. Also, you know that Ghana will be coming up against Panama, England, and of course Croatia in Group L. We'll look at all that and also something from the Milo Under 13 Championship all here on the show. Let's now get into the details and start off from the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup, where Ghana has been drawn in Group L alongside England, Panama, and Croatia. Following the draw, General Manager of MG Sports, Michael Otieje, talks about Ghana's chances at the Mundial.
It's all right. I think it's not a worst thing. Like Utuado said, it's manageable. Ghana needed. Ghana was always going to get somebody from Pot A. Yeah, my hope was that it was either USA or Canada. It wasn't to be the case. So it meant that anybody Ghana drew was going to be a top-tier team, and we've drawn the fourth best-ranked side in the world, England. So that was something we couldn't do much about. I think Panama gives Ghana potentially the option of potentially the biggest source of 3 points, and I am really convinced, having seen Ghana in previous World Cups and with my idea of the way things work, that whilst Croatia have a very good team, Croatia are not at the peak of their powers, and that game is one of those games that the Black Stars could use. But in major tournaments, when I look at Senegal in 2002, I look at Cameroon in 1990, I look at Ghana against Czech Republic and the rest, I get a sense that major tournaments are made for teams like Ghana and the rest to step up there and cause one or two surprises. And that's why I really think the Black Stars should not shudder as the option of playing against England and Croatia. I think it's one of those groups that the Black Stars could do well in.
Michael Otieje, General Manager for Sports at Media General. Now, still on the FIFA World Cup, the dates have been confirmed officially together with the venues for the upcoming Continental Showpiece. And here is a wrap of what you need to know about the World Cup venues by head of 3 Sports, Mawuena Appiah-Ampofo.
We do know that the Black Stars would now be in Group L for the FIFA World Cup alongside England, Panama, and Croatia. We also do know that the team would play in the US and Canada playing in Toronto in the first game, and then Boston, and the final game against Croatia would be played here in the US in Philadelphia. Now, the big question is, how do you get tickets to watch these 3 group games across the 3 different venues? Now, FIFA says, worry not, because on December 11, later this week, there would be the random selection draw. Now, this is a raffle-style phase where all fans have to do is to either create an account on FIFA.com or log in with their FIFA ID, and then they select the matches that they do want to watch. You choose which seating category that you want, and the next step is you wait. Now, if you are lucky and you do get a ticket in that draw, your card which you use for payments would be charged in February 2026, and so that's how you can get tickets as things do stand. There's also been questions concerning the pricing of tickets for the game. As things do stand, FIFA do say that it's a dynamic pricing for the games, and so depending on demand, the prices could go higher or lower. But what we do know is that for all of Ghana's 3 group games, the prices do start from $60, but you should be budgeting somewhere around $450 to $800 for these games, depending on the seating category and then also the venue of the match. There would also be third-party websites where you can get some of these tickets, but FIFA do say that is at your own risk when it comes to how authentic those tickets are. Do remember that getting the tickets for the game does not necessarily assure you entrance into any of the 3 host countries, that's the US, Mexico, and Canada, and so you need to get your visas for that one. Mawuena Ampofo from Florida for 3 Sports.
Mawuena Ampofo there briefing us as to how to get tickets for the FIFA World Cup. Now, away from the World Cup, let's use some more where Adroba Roman Catholic Primary School from the Afro region has been crowned champions of the Milo Under-13 Champions League. They defeated Franco International School in the Western North region 2-0 to win the coveted trophy.
More than 100,000 school children from all 16 regions participated in the district, zonal and national phases, culminating in the final match between Adroba RC from Ahafo region and Franco International School from the Western North region. Adroba RC emerged victorious, taking home a trophy, jerseys, training vests, medals and 50,000 Ghana cedis to invest in sports development. Second placed Franco International School received a trophy, 2 sets of jerseys, a training vest, medals, and 30,000 Ghana cedis, while St. Francis Preparatory School from the Bono region claimed third with medals and 20,000 cedis. Manager of Corporate Communication and Public Affairs at Nestle Ghana, Deborah Kwabla, stressed the importance of combining football with education.
The core values that we expected and some of the core achievements that we expected out of this tournament, to be able to get the young people to play, to have fun, but more importantly, to be able to get stars out of them.
Category manager of Nestle Ghana, Myro Notu, was impressed about the performance of the teams.
To beat a team this good, you need to have played as a team. These are values that, on and off the pitch, it really leads to lifelong success. And so when we catch them young and you instill these values, it lasts them a lifetime.
The tournament icon and former Black Stars captain Helen Appiah touched on the tournament's role in discovering stars such as Fatawu Shahaku, Kelvin Nkrumah, and others.
It saddened my heart that after this tournament, where are they going? So we have to do something to keep these boys. I'm worried that the next generation, if they are not playing for the national team, who are going to replace them? But through Milo, I think that we still have hope that the future is bright for Ghana football.
Milo under 13 there. Now we'll be heading to Europe shortly, but before that, let's do some boxing. Why in a move aimed at restructuring and elevating boxing standards in Ghana, Legacy Rise has put together a host of bouts scheduled to take place on 20th December. The highly ranked Theophilus Alote is set to feature in one of the numerous bouts lined up. 3 Sports caught up with one of the boxers, Freezy McBones, and he tells us the significance of the bout.
It means a lot to me because Jonathan got nothing to lose. He got nothing to lose. If he beat the man, if he beat me, it's a problem, right? If I beat him, it's nothing. It's normal, right? So I'm so focused for this. Jonathan got nothing to lose. What? If I beat Jonathan, what am I going to get from it? They'll be like, oh, you beat a guy from Bochum. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying something bad from Bochum, but they'll be like, oh, you better than him because you fight abroad, you are international boxer, stuff like that, right? If Jonathan beat me, it's a huge problem, right? So he got nothing to lose. So I'm so focused and I'm ready and I'm coming to take what is mine. And thank God, WBA Africa title is on the line.
That is Freezy McBones there. And remember that TV3 has secured the rights for the bout. So on the 20th of December, it will be live and exclusive on TV3. Now, it's a big night in Europe as the UEFA Champions League returns tonight, where the Olympiacos are traveling to Kazakhstan to face Kiryat Ameti, while Sporting CP make the trip to Munich, where Bayern welcome them at the Allianz Arena. Chelsea visits Italy to take on Atalanta, with Eintracht Frankfurt also going to Spain to face Barcelona. And Liverpool are on the road to face Milan and to face Inter Milan, in that one. Ahead of that Inter Milan clash, Liverpool winger, that is Mohamed Salah, has been left out of the clash according to report. But the forward is reportedly not expected to face any disciplinary action over his bombshell comments. His omission comes just 2 days after he gave an explosive interview following their 3-3 draw with Leeds, claiming he had been thrown under the bus by manager Arne Slot. That is Mohamed Salah talking about how he's been treated by Liverpool. Big one for him. But Mohamed Kudus has also been speaking, and the Tottenham winger has been talking about England and the World Cup that Ghana would be facing them. But Tottenham are in dire need of points as they host Czech Giants, that is Slavia Prague. Kudus, who spoke with press, believes his side needs to be at their best in the remaining UCL game in order to secure qualification to the next round.
I think I'm still getting used to everything, even though the demands are high, and obviously there's no time. You gotta perform immediately you join a club, because that's what the league is about. But with the help of the staff, the coach, and the teammates, I think I've been settling smoothly so far. But there's still a lot more to do and to show as a team, individually as well. So we just keep taking it game by game and then keep focusing on what's ahead. But I believe we have a lot to offer as a team and individually as well.
Now, the Tottenham Hotspur winger is also looking forward to Ghana facing England in the 2026 World Cup.
Well, their approach is their part of the game, but I think to qualify for the World Cup alone is a big statement from us and shows what we can do, So there's still a bit of time till that, so just focus here for now, and then definitely we'll prepare towards that as well. But it's good to have England in the group. Interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Playing against most of the players in the country here, so, and some of the other guys that play here as well. So we are pretty much aware of the side we are facing and the quality they have, but we will definitely be up for it and be ready.
Mohamed Kudus definitely ready for England as Ghana will take them on in the 2026 World Cup. And this brings us to the end of the sports updates here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. There's more sports on all our socials at 3sportsgh. The show continues after this.
92.7.
The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Matic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
Just shadow shade. Brick by brick, we build from pain. Under the streetlights, we carve our name. The horns blow loud, they sing our fights. We chase the dawn through endless nights. Street crown on my head, I'm staying real. Every scar's a badge, every wound would heal. They can't break me, they never will. Street crown on my head, I'm made of steel. Wow.
Proceed for me.
He says, every scar a badge, every wound will heal. They can't break me, no, they never will. In fact, he goes on to say, concrete whisper stories untold. Dreams are diamonds in the city's hold. Sweat on my brow, the grind don't stop. Climbing high from the ground to the rooftop. The drums don't lie, they call my name. The rhythm's fire fueling my flame. Street crown on my head, I'm staying real. Every scar's a badge, every wound will heal.
Street crown on my head, I'm staying real.
I wonder what inspired these very dope, very deep, very impactful, it feels like soul-searching lyrics. I wonder what inspired. What do you think inspired these lyrics, Mawuena?
You're trying to say, yeah.
What mood do you think he was in when he penned these lyrics?
I think he had entered a phase.
Which phase?
Where, he's been in quite some trouble recently. But I think the song came before even all of those troubles came around.
Oh, okay.
I really cannot tell. But he was the same one who did that song about a tortoise and what. I've forgotten.
The versatility of Shatta Wale can never be underestimated.
Yeah, he is good.
You have a song like Freedom, Shatta, to such deep lyrics, concrete whispers, street crown on my head, every wound will heal. The penmanship, wow.
Whatever it is, Shatta Wale is up there in terms of one of the greats in Ghanaian music. And like you said, the penmanship is great. It's very, very great. It's very resounding as well. But you were giving me the Psalm 23. That's the one I love. This song is great. I love it as well.
All I know is that time for Beko low battery.
Now your power bank that 99. So have to reschedule that all-important interview with the Honorable Roxy Nelson Appiah-Ampofo. You get the indication. Some other matters have come up involving one of the issues that we're going to be tabling right now, having to do with the Bandai seat and the rerun, which is expected, and so we'll have to slate that for tomorrow.
All right.
That all-important conversation for tomorrow with the Honorable Roxy Nelson Appiah-Ampofo. But even as we do that, we know there are other pressing matters up for conversation. TUC and the other labor groups have been raising concerns about the 27%. It's not 20, it's about, you see, 9 points. Is it 8? If you round it up, that's 10. Then you see 16 or 15 point something, which if you round up as well, is almost 16% as well. And cumulatively, you're going to be seeing about 26% increase in utility tariffs starting from January 1 next year. Water in excess of 15%, and then electricity as well. If you do the rounding up, that's like 10%. And the labor group say, look, you gave us 9% in terms of salary increment. Why are we being slapped with 26% in terms of increase in utility tariff? That's not very fair. Yesterday when we were talking about it, before we even get into the details, I was making the argument that when I think about water, even though I am tempted to want to agree with why the Ghana Water Company Limited might need an increment like that, the causes or the factors which bring about such astronomical increase for the Ghana water is still within things the government should be able to do.
That's right.
Which is Galamsey. Because the water treatment plants which have come under severe threat, some have been shut down and what have you, it is all as a result of Galamsey. Who must fight Galamsey for us? The government.
Indeed.
And so, yes, Galamsey is causing us to have to spend more in the treatment of water, which by a stretch you can say, well, the Ghana water will need more money to be able to treat the water. But if we dealt with the subject matter of Galamsey, then we will not have to be spending so much to treat the water. And then that cost will not have to be passed on again to the citizenry. And so, even though I was tempted to agree, I'm on second thought, I'm thinking, look, if we've dealt with Galamsey, then we will not be having this conversation at all. For electricity, I don't know. I am not in full support as to the near 10% in terms of increase in tariff.
I think these comments are definitely in tandem with a lot of what I've seen on social media and beyond in all the conversations that we monitor, because increasingly it feels as though all of the wahala is being heaped on the consumer. When we are being made aware that there are systemic issues which cause these inefficiencies that you and I have to deal with. Is it fair? Is it fair for governments past and present to not deal with these issues instead of doing the age-old thing of passing on the buck to the consumer, and these systemic issues still continue to linger? Talk about our water issues and Galamsey. I mean, how amazing would it be to, really drill down into that canker of Galamsey to ensure that, one, not only do we have water, but we're drinking water that is wholesome for consumption. I'm paying more for water that I can't even vouch for.
You can't even drink.
I can't even drink.
Heavy metals.
Heavy metals. I was in Takrady in August. I opened the tap.
Brown, eh?
Hey! I mean, sometimes you're in Accra and maybe the water has been treated to a level where you can't really see.
These days when the water even flows, sometimes
you see it. I mean, I was scandalized. To even brush your teeth, you have to get yourself some pure water to rinse your mouth, to brush your teeth. It was, I saw it feeling. You don't even know. So to add that on top of the woes is something I don't think fellow Ghanaians we have to contend with. We have to fight this. It's really the not so sexy work of governments. Sometimes we put.
It's a very interesting one.
Yes, that's the part of the job that is not so sexy. Drilling down and finding out not even finding out. We know what these issues are. Actually dealing with these issues. When we talk about ECG, for example, we are being told about procurement issues that have a knock-on effect on you and I. Power theft, so that if power theft is prevalent in one particular area or the other, you and I will have to pay for that shortfall in revenue collection. I mean, so many different things that culminate in us always having to bear the brunt of what is going on. Now, you juxtapose that against the conversation that, yes, we're seeing that macroeconomic stability, but is it even really trickling down into our pockets? If that kind of macroeconomic stability finds its way in our pockets, you can say that, okay, then there is some reprieve, that even a hike can be cushioned because now we're feeling things reduce at the market, so that price has come down. Whatever you were spending, you're not spending as much as extra disposable income. But you put all of this conversation together, it's not a surprise that you have, labor unions up in arms about what it is that we are seeing in terms of the hike. Now, back to even water. Is your tap flowing? This morning, as we speak, is your tap even flowing?
It doesn't flow 247. So I think what happens, and I think it's in major parts of Accra. If you have a poly tank, that saves you. So the tap flows on Wednesdays, and then it flows on Saturday, Sunday, and then it goes off and comes back on a Wednesday again.
But some of us, we don't even rely on that schedule because, like you said, poly tank.
If you don't have
those
a
who have done a borehole and so on and so forth, you don't even know the schedule because you don't even. Are you even relying so much on that schedule?
And there are people in Accra who have to buy water. So if you are around Adringano or Ashalibuche, you see a lot of these water tankers moving in to supply homes with water. Then I know in parts of Ablekuma, Fuama and the likes as well. That part, the Ghana Water Company Limited's connection is yet to reach those parts of town. And so when I was there, we're buying water every time. We buy water. You call in a tanker, it's 300 cedis, and then you buy water.
Exactly.
And if that doesn't last you have to buy again.
Exactly. If you're in a household with a lot of kids, kids have to go to. You can't wait. You can't wait for that. However many days for the water to be turned on for you to collect, you have to consistently have water in the home.
The tap is not even. It's not like the connection from the Ghana Water Company's distribution doesn't reach that part of town.
For you to even be on a schedule.
For that part is all. So water tankers are always on the road supplying homes with water and what have you. That's what the situation is, and so. Well, you can argue to a stretch that those people might not be paying that near 15% or 16%, which has been slapped. But what we understand is that these announcements, this almost 10% and 16% increment, is annual. So until the next major tariff review annually, tariffs are expected to go up by those percentages. And before there is the quarterly adjustment as well. So it's like double header. As this is an annual increment, so at the start of 2026, we'll get the 15.7 and then 9.6.
Okay.
All coming. At the start of 2027, that will take effect again. Now, within the years, unless I'm mistaken in terms of the understanding, within the years, then there will be the quarterly tariff adjustment as well. So within the year, there will be the tariffs being adjusted within the quarter.
What role does the IMF also play in some of these adjustments?
That was a part of the conversations we had, that tariffs must reflect the prevailing circumstances and what have you. And so it's been built in such that quarterly there is that adjustment. We're yet to see downward adjustments, particularly for electricity. Water has remained, I think, in some reviews within the quarters of this year, water remained where it was. It didn't see any upward movement in terms of adjustments. It stayed the way it was. But electricity, it stayed consistent. It's always been in the upward trajectory, actually. And the sentiment is one too many. We cannot pay. For the tariff and a lot of the things, I pay particular attention to it. So I follow it from time to time. Whenever there's a upward adjustment, whatever the reviews come by, I'm on the dashboard, on the screen, somewhere on the TV, talking through it and doing that. So I know there's been reviews. For water, it stayed the same.
Okay.
In some parts. That's why I didn't really have a problem when I saw the 50 until I decided that, no, we can actually deal with Galamsey so that we will not have to suffer such astronomical increases in terms of tariff. But for electricity, it stayed consistent. And the challenge has always been the inefficiencies with the system and the operations at ECG. Granted that since this government took over, there's been a certain level of responsibility in terms of the administration there. And yesterday I saw Alfred on Twitter asking...
In fact, surprise, I was just about to open his page.
The PURC about the cash waterfall mechanism. They hadn't provided updates for about 2 quarters or something. They provided the updates, And there's been strict compliance with the cash waterfall mechanism, which means that for everybody within the sector, within the energy generation mix, they are compliant when ECG receives the revenue, everybody gets a share. That's why we've not been hearing the independent power producers and what have you complain that, we don't have money, we'll shut down the plant, and then they will say Doomsaw looming as IPP. We've not had any of that this year. That's been good. The finance minister as well reported increases in revenue collection by the ECG as well. And so that means a lot more money has come through to be able to pay these independent power producers for the power to stay on. We've also got hints from the energy ministry that, look, they've tightened the noose around them, that there will be a central account which does the collection of the revenue, because first there was 99 accounts which was collecting ECG revenue at some point in this year, which were revelations which were made known to us either this year or somewhere last year.
I think during that transition period, we got that intel.
Before there was a whole saga about missing containers and what have you. So it was a lot earlier this year as well. There's been regulations to tighten up the space and ensure that is taken care of. There are other issues about transmission losses and what have you. We haven't gotten word on that score as well, so that we know whether or not the cleanup is happening. Because if you listen to the labor groups, they say you cannot bring the inefficiency of a company to us to be paying for every year. And it is a sentiment everybody agrees with, because around the table, the consensus is one that there's a lot of mismanagement that happens at ECG, from contracts being signed and things being bought when we don't need. And so if that is being taken care of, then you can begin to have a conversation with the utility service, not the labor groups, that, we've done X, and that, and why, and this is the job we've done. We've cleaned up the space. We've been able to save this amount of money. Money is going here, so there will be stability in terms of your energy supply. And in the long run, say about 2 years' time, tariffs can begin to reduce. Then there will be some justification, like there's a clear plan. But right now, all we know is that, there's been some good work done. We can't continue to be paying in upward trajectory
for these
forever.
Inefficiencies. Talk about some issues concerning procurement breaches, like you said, paying for things that we don't even need, when those monies could be reeled back in, so that you and I don't have to consistently pay more. When you mentioned Alfred, I almost thought you were talking about data scientist Alfred Appiah.
No, he's actually the one I was
fantastic.
speaking to.
Now, he also had a contrary perspective about what the TUC had to say to government. You recall,
he said they are against the salary increment has been eroded.
Exactly, that 9%. So he had this to say, and again, Alfred is a data scientist, no stranger to our platforms. He says, I'll always support Ghanaian workers getting paid more, but we also have to stick to the facts. What he goes on to say is that workers don't spend all their income on electricity and water. According to the CPI weights, housing and utilities make up about 10% of the average household spending. And the share for electricity and water alone is even smaller. Hence, a 9% increase in base pay is not the same as a 9% increase in tariffs, which is, I think, important to also compute. The computation was being made simplistically that 9% increase in tariffs has eroded that 9% increase. But he is saying that the CPI tells us, the Consumer Price Index tells us, that we don't spend all our money on utilities. About 10% of our money goes to that, if that. Now, he says that comparison of that 9% against 9% only works if workers spend all their money on electricity and water, which they don't. So the recent water and electricity tariff adjustments do not cancel out the base pay increase. Contrary to what some people are claiming, it's not giving 9 cedis an increase in base pay and adding 9 cedis increase in tariffs. I think that particular distinction or conversation has its place, for sure. It's too simplistic to say you've given us 9% increase, and so that 9% increase in base pay, and so that 9% tariff adjustment is wiped out. Now, whilst I don't disagree at all with that assertion that we have to get the facts straight, I still don't believe that we should continuously be burdened with the inefficiencies of these institutions, especially when the canker runs deep. Talk about water. We've said it time without number. Fix some of the deeper issues, Galamsey, so that we can have some reprieve. Even if it's only 10% that the average worker is spending on utilities, what crime would I have committed if it's 2%? Why not? What would be the big deal? That would be even extra reprieve so that we can use those money towards some more productive things, and the average Ghanaian can have some disposable incomes. But the TUC, the other bodies, they're not happy with this announcement at all, and I think that in future conversations, we're going to see things heat up. You've got the Ghana Federation of Labour as well, talking about how unfair these tariffs are. These are the conversations that continue to dominate with the labour force.
Absolutely, and we'll seek to engage with the Trades Union Congress. They yesterday addressed a news conference where they were raising these concerns very strongly and asking questions. Even though Alfred has provided this clarity, it will be very important to put it to them as well. We are not in the court, but we just
we'll put it to them.
We'll let them know this additional detail so that perhaps they'll amend perhaps their position as well. But let's get on to the other line. Kofi Kapito is with the Consumer Protection Group. He's joining us as well on the latest as we're discussing on this utility tariff increase and whether or not the customer is worse off, right? Mr. Kapito, good morning. I trust that you're doing well.
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah, fantastic. And it's good to have you join us this morning. This near 27% increase in tariffs that we're seeing from, as announced by the PURC, the understanding is that this is going to be annual until the next major tariff review again, and within each year there will be adjustments again made in the quarterly basis for tariffs. As a consumer protection group, how do you take this?
I take it that I think PRC, the utilities are not being fair to their customers at all. Look, let me tell you what. They talk about major tariffs, right? What is the essence of the quarterly increase and the major tariffs? PRC, by their mandate, should increase utilities every quarter. So when they talk about major tariffs, nobody has explained exactly what the major tariffs are. And I have an insight. This is when the utilities bring a lot of reasons why they should be allowed to increase. Something like, even if they are going to build new offices. Okay, if you are building a new office, why should the consumer pay you in advance for you to build your new office? The Ghana Water one that even annoys me the most is the reason is because they need money to buy chemicals to purify the waters. The question is, now who calls them? We have a regulator. Okay, we have a ministry. We have all the institutions that are supposed to make sure that we get clean water. They talk about the IMF conditionality. The IMF conditionality also tells you that your people should be provided with clean and uninterrupted continuous supply of utilities. How come the PURC is not looking at that? If you look at the mandate of the PURC or the law that sets up PURC, it is there to protect both the utility provider and the consumer. For the longest time since I've been around, I don't know when PURC did something in favor of the consumer. So the question I'm asking them is, first of all, they should come again with a better reason. But for them to tell us what they are telling us, I don't buy it. We're written to them requesting that they should tell us even how they reached that percentage.
Because they say first of January, right?
Yes.
We have the whole December. We are also seeing what our options are. At the end of the day, I mean, I've been to the court to seek an injunction against PRC before. Maybe we might do it again because it doesn't make any sense. All I'm saying is fairness is fairness. Yes, maybe you need to increase, but you also need to make sure that I, the consumer, get what I am paying for.
Right.
I don't think that is so difficult. So go fix whatever your problems is. 3FM, with all due respect, when you were setting up this radio station, maybe I'm a business. I want to bring an ad to 3FM. Is 3FM going to tell me that, oh, if you want me to go and buy a microphone, or because I'm going to buy a microphone, give me money in advance. When I buy the microphone, before I can come and grant you the interview. That is exactly what they are telling us. And to me, enough is enough.
I want to hold you and then bring as well Mr. Chunibo Akodia on the other line. He is the vice chairman of TUC as well, because they are also raising some concerns in relation to this latest announcement in tariff. And by the way, it's 15.92% for water and electricity as well, 9.82%. Mr. Kodia, thank you as well for joining us. For you in labor, you say that what? Government is eroding whatever gains you were given in terms of salary increments for the next year? Is that the argument?
Good morning, my brother, and good morning to your listeners. It goes beyond just eroding whatever government has given to us. It borders on somebody ensuring that PURC lives to its mandate, ensuring that both the consumer and the provider their interests are fairly protected. And it also ensures that PURC also operates within the mandate or the law given to it. And you and I are responsible for ensuring that they work within those limits. Now, let me start by saying that PURC, over the period, they've had their way, and Ghanaians have not really interrogated what they come up with. Now, every quarter, they have a duty to adjust tariff. And the law gives them four main variables to use: inflation rate, exchange rate, cost of gas, and then energy mix. These are the four major tariff variables that they consider in adjusting tariffs. Last quarter, third quarter of this year, these indicators were so favorable. Inflation rate was favorable, exchange rate was favorable, cost of gas was favorable, and all our analysis with them, for the first time, utility rates should have come down by 22% for the first time last quarter. Then PURC introduced two new variables into the equation, which was just by their sole discretion. They brought in cost of reserve margin and then cost of liquid fuel. And we said, no, you can't do this. If for the first time your equation is saying that reduce utility bills for Ghanaians, so be it, do that. But what happened? We saw a 2.45 increment in utility. This is the quarterly one, the third quarter. Now, what has happened is the major tariff review. That also takes into consideration the four variables I mentioned earlier on, plus cost of operations, cost of maintenance, cost of HR costs. TUC said, let's sit down and interrogate these things and see which ones can be applied. And so somewhere in September, we met PRC at Aliza. and it's a very broad meeting. So we said, let's sit down at the clinical level and then do the analysis before we come up with a tariff that would look fair to Ghanaians. And PURC accepted. Indeed, they sent us a message that engagement will happen on 8th of December, which is just yesterday. But surprisingly, 6th of December, you announce on your own, you announce new tariffs. I mean, subsiding the engagement we're doing to ensure that whatever you are coming up with prefer to Ghanaians. And we feel that this cannot be right in this country. Somebody must ensure that our rules and laws work. And so that was our first.
There's been bad faith exhibited by PURC in that you didn't conclude on the conversations that they promised you were going to have in arriving at these tariff announcements, and then they proceeded to do it nonetheless.
Yes, I mean, obviously, that's what has happened. And then our second argument is this. When we were about negotiating for this new wage, government gave us all the assurances and promises that inflation will not erode whatever we will get by way of increment, and that exchange rate was stable. And we tried very hard, but government kept that argument, and we had 9% increment. Now, even before the 9% kicks in, workers are going to start paying this new rate come 1st January, when even the 9% is kicking in at the end of January. It's very obvious that this new rate would erode the 9% given to the poor worker. But the worst is that because PURC adjusts their tariff every quarter, come first quarter, PURC will come again and look at the situation for a possible adjustment. Come second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, what will be the impact of these reviews on the 9% that government has given to the poor worker, knowing that the worker has only one opportunity to negotiate once a year. And so this requires a broader engagement to ensure that the consumer has the ability to pay. It's not only about doing the tariff upwards. The consumer should have the ability without.
Right.
I think conclusive. We're not saying that Ghana Water doesn't need money to fix the Galamsey, muddy water. They are all saying we appreciate that difficulty. But recent time, you also saw what happened in Parliament when ECG was suggested to the Public Account Committee, and the amount of money that, in quotes, went to areas that didn't really, where it was classified as application or operation. These are the things. These are the same operational costs, internal costs that must be integrated so that if it's possible that the consumer doesn't carry all this burden, we segregate these things to make life easier for the poor worker.
The argument, and this one is to the both of you, is that you've alluded to the difficulties with the Ghana Water in particular in being able to treat these galamsey-infested waters and water view. There's a temptation to want to argue and argue strongly that, look, consider these and for instance, on the waterfront, that argument should hold in terms of water treatment. I'll start off with you, Mr. Capito, first before I come to Mr. Chunibo Akodia.
Yes, I'm listening. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you see, that argument doesn't hold water. Like I said earlier, we are all in this country. When we saw some individuals being mischievous, that's why we have regulators and authorities for them to make sure that the life of the Ghanaian is protected. If somebody went to sleep on their responsibility, like I told you earlier, maybe, genuinely, maybe we might have to pay something small. But the question is, they haven't given us the guarantees that when we pay, or even when we agree, all our troubles will go away. They are telling us about their troubles, right? What about our troubles? That even when they tell you that they are rationing water to your neighborhood, right? And you get water maybe twice a week. Master, sometimes the whole month you don't get the water. It's a promise that is broken. If I'm going to get the water, why not? But I'm not getting the water. Electricity, still there are some power outages somewhere. Okay, ECG still hasn't brought down what is called the commercial and technical losses, their percentage, which is hovering around 24%. The international standard is about 11%.
Right.
So how come PURC always allows the utilities to come and cry to us, we the consumers? Look, consumers' responsibility is you pay. I don't have a problem. Okay, but when I'm not getting the satisfaction of the services that I'm buying, why are you asking me to pay more?
Right. And for you, Mr. Kodia, in answering this as well, I just want you to add on to what next steps you're willing to take as a group in ensuring that these concerns you're raising are addressed immediately by the PURC, because you've alleged bad faith in one hand as well.
Well, it is our expectation that government will listen and we come back to the table and ensure that whatever we are coming up with would be fair to the poor Ghanaian worker, and that the Ghanaian worker will be able to afford and pay, and also be able to maintain their duties or family duties. It is just right that we begin to interrogate what PURC comes up with, and I'm happy the discussion has started. We should be able to help Ghana Water in particular to overcome the current burden they are carrying. And like my colleague just said, should the poor Ghanaian be the one to bear all this burden? This question should be answered by all of us.
Right.
And I feel that discussion should start. And so for us, we are believing that government will listen, and it will suspend the announced tariff. And when we all go through, we are sure that whatever to come up can be sustained and paid by the poor worker, and it's fair to the process, and even to also put in measures so that some of the wastage in the system are all blocked. Then we will be fair to ourselves as Ghanaians.
And for you, Mr. Capito, you say there's a likelihood you will be headed to court to seek to injunct the PURC and the implementation of these tariffs.
Definitely, because you know what, the courts are there to solve issues for people who don't come to an agreement. The question is, PURC has a responsibility to us, so they should be able to tell us those responsibilities. How would they guarantee it for you and I? So the next time when we pay our bill, once you open the tap, the water will flow without any interruption.
Absolutely.
If you pay electricity bill 24/7, the light should be on.
Right.
All those wastages, all those things that sometimes even their own building of their offices, they want the consumer. They want the consumer to pay. It's a no. Look, every business, right? You do upgrade, or you do or you do investments, and then after the investments, you can say, okay, because I have incurred extra cost, it is fair for me to share it with my customers. Let me give a little example. Remember this dollar CD issue, right? Even when the first increase was done, okay, the dollar was at a certain price. Now it's 12 cedis. All those gains, we need to get it.
Right.
And let's see that it is fair. All I'm saying is that I want fairness.
Absolutely. I appreciate you both joining us for this conversation. That's Ken Trinebo-Akodia as the Vice Chair of the Trades Union Congress, Kofi Kapito as well as the CEO of Consumer Protection Agency. It's not the last, I must say, we're going to be having this conversation in relation to this utility tariff, but I appreciate you joining us this morning.
But before you go, let me just tell you something, right? It's about time that the media houses, I'm glad that you called this morning.
I can hear you, Mr. Capito. Right. It does appear I may have lost him on the telephone line as well. I'm going for this quick break. When I return, I have two guests in studio. We'll talk the Pandai rerun pretty shortly, the legal implications as well as from a political analyst perspective, what this could mean for either party. Stay with us here on the 3FM Sunrise.
Having trouble dealing with ticks, mites and fleas?
92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.
Hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise...
92.7 3FM.
Electoral Commission that an exercise of the powers conferred, and for those of us on Facebook as well as on YouTube, we can read just excerpt of that statement or that letter from Ebenezer Ahuma Jetro, who is a clerk to Parliament, to the Electoral Commission, that an exercise of the power conferred and the duty imposed on him as a clerk to Parliament by Article 1125 as amended in the 1992 Constitution, he do hereby formally notifies the Electoral Commission of the occurrence of a vacancy in the membership of Parliament occasioned by the order of the High Court Tamale for a rerun of the Pandai parliamentary elections given on the 24th day of November 2024. I've been joined in studio by Austin Bracco Powers, a private legal practitioner, as well as a political expert, Professor Smart Sapong, who is also the Director of Research and Innovation at the Kumasi Technical University. Gentlemen, good morning to you. I trust that all is well.
We're doing well. Eric. How are you?
You cream, but and farmer ebimo because there's that but let me start off perhaps with you because of the legal perspective that is associated with this. Parliament has written to EC now, and so the expectation is that the Electoral Commission will commence processes for the rerun to happen. But we know there are 2 pending cases as well, none of which has been heard. Put that in perspective for us and what possibly could happen as things unfold the way that's unfolding right now.
Well, Eric, let me say a warm morning to your listeners and those who are watching via social media, particularly YouTube. And I think it's an intriguing development, one that has gotten a lot of Ghanaians speaking. And I'm sure recently we heard from the chiefs, some chiefs, which many say are not representative of the entire traditional leaders in the constituency. But Eric, the position of the law is clear, and the constitution is clear. And the constitution is that the Electoral Commission and Parliament have a duty. So Parliament has a responsibility that where there exists a vacancy, Parliament is enjoined to inform the Electoral Commission, the basis of which the Electoral Commission will outline roadmap towards either election rerun
or a by-election.
Yes, a complete election or a by-election. In this instance, that is what Parliament has done. And I am mandated by the 2 processes so far pending before the court. One before the Court of Appeal, which is an appeal, and the one before the Supreme Court, which is a judicial review application. But Eric, the position of the law is clear. Whereas such matters, the knowledge of which will prevent private individuals from taking subsequent actions, when it comes to constitutional matters, it does not. What I mean is that until a court of competent jurisdiction, properly so-called constituted, makes pronouncement as to the forward march of a particular action, the constitutional bodies have the duty to do their work, as if they've not heard, they've not seen anything.
Where does that fall within that school of thoughts that if someone serves notice of a particular course of action and wanting to stay proceeding, I know there have been 2 schools of thought. One argues that you stay your action pending the determination of the courts. The other says that you can proceed nonetheless until the court so makes a determination.
No, so stay, as you well intimated, stay
is not an injunction.
Stay is not an injunction. It does not operate automatically. That's what it should be born out of the conversation. It does not operate automatically, and it must be granted. Stay of execution must be granted by a court of competent jurisdiction. And the position of the law is that until the records of appeal is transmitted to the appellate court, in this case the Court of Appeal, if you want to stay any order or judgment of the court, you must first start off from the lower court where the order or the judgment was so made. Then if it is refused, then you go to the appellate court or the Court of Appeal.
Right.
Now, the thing is that until the court makes pronouncement that this judgment is stayed, Parliament
and the EC
have a duty to perform, and nothing can stop them.
Let me come to you, Professor Smart Sapong, on this subject matter. Dicey in terms of how the elections could go. We've already seen the minority states their position clearly on the subject matter and the accusations they've leveled thereof. But in the scheme of things, the politics as we've seen it play out, how well does this Pandai rerun hold some water for either of the political parties?
Yes, Eric. So, good morning and a very good morning to our cherished listeners and viewers on social media. Very interesting development. I'll start it off with the kind of sudden nature of their case. I'm told it started some time ago, but I mean, Parliament has so being sworn in, it's in force, getting to like a whole year. We felt that those cases that we kept hearing of, the Tema Central, Tema West or Tema Central one, the Ekwetia one, some of those cases, the High Sawem,
those ones were dealt with quite quickly.
They were the cases that we knew.
They were the dominant
cases. We didn't know. In fact, it came as
a surprise almost.
To me that, so for all this while, close to a year, Pandai case was pending before the Tamale High Court. So that is something I take notice of. So quite sudden, but I mean, the court perhaps was taking its time to go through the book so that it can make a determination that is reflective of the situation. Then my second concern is in respect of the irregularities. So I was thinking that they had identified some 42 polling stations,
which was the subject
of the court.
Yeah.
And my question this morning to my good friend, this same lawyer, was that if you are a court and you are confronted with 42 out of 150 something, 58 or so polling stations, does that form a basis for annulment of the entire process? Assuming all the 42 were found to be characterized by irregularities and so had to be dropped, I was thinking it would have been like the Ablikuma North one, where those specific polling stations were instructed to go for a rerun. But then I get the impression that perhaps the court is vested with the power to determine whether, looking at the 42 or the rest, or the 150, there were substantial determination or findings that points to irregularity across. In fact, I've also learned that the change of the collation center alone constitutes some kind of breach. And then
it's a statutory breach.
Okay, so it constitutes some. So the court would have looked at all these things in coming at the determination it came. Yes, it has come. The appeal processes have commenced. I've also learned from lawyer this morning that it is a constitutional body versus another constitutional body. Parliament, unless stopped by a court of competent jurisdiction, can perform its duty as a constitutional body. The EC has been notified. It can also go ahead and perform it until any other determination by a court of competent jurisdiction. The latest bit is the chiefs and the people, some of the chiefs and people of Pandai kind of objecting or resisting the call for a rerun. And I asked myself whether the chiefs have that capacity to be asking those things. And my caution is that, you see, when it comes to party politics, we are told by the Constitution that chiefs must stay themselves out. Carefully so, to maintain the kind of dignity and respect we have, the reverence that we have for that institution. And so I feel it is a test case for them. If they were chiefs from the Pandai area, perhaps they would have been careful how they went about it. We still respect them. They have a point somehow. They want the security and peace of the area. We all know what comes with reruns and by-elections and all those things. For all you know, they are mindful and careful with some of those developments. That's why they are kind of hesitant in accepting. But if it becomes the position of the law and the law takes its course, I'm not sure in such a classical party political decision or conversation the chiefs may want to. So kind of an appeal. We respect them. Perhaps they should just monitor things and see how it goes. But to enter into the arena and say we are going to stop or we don't want rerun, Eric, that one is quite some way. They have to take note of that. And it is an extended appeal to all chiefs elsewhere, including the recent Achem Esum Krunti Hene, who's
been making some very
chief.
I've seen except of some brother who believe
they should be spoken to. You see, you bring yourself out like that and you are denigrating your own institution. Anybody else can come out. And
because you open yourself up for attacks.
Yes. So it's in the wisdom of the framers of the Constitution that institution, and in fact, it's a very important institution. It's so check what Menshia is doing with the long-standing Boko crisis.
Yeah.
And we pray that the report that will be submitted to the president on the 11th of December will bring some form of finality and lasting peace to that area. And that is why those sub-chiefs and smaller chiefs must learn. Please, when you want to do politics, go abdicate your seat and come out full time to come and do. But don't be seen in chieftaincy regalia or representing chiefs of Pandai or something to engage or to be found to be engaging in it. Will not help going forward, and so they should be properly cautioned. As for political parties, yes, they will try the legal process, they will protest, but I'm sure under the cover they are doing some level of preparation. If you check the elections results for Pandai, Matthew Yindam won with about 3,443 or so, 44 votes. 3,400 vote gap difference. All other things be equal, if you would even drop some of the votes, if they were genuine votes, if you would even drop some of the votes, it shouldn't be to the extent that he may lose.
You don't see if that rerun were to happen, he would lose in it.
Yes, all other things be equal.
Right.
All other things be equal. Human minds do not change like that. And I know that all let me put this thing on record, all by-elections or reruns usually favors the sitting government because at that point they have all the resources. In fact,
machinery of the states
Eric, they can answer all the challenges of Pandai within 1 month.
Easy.
Pandai is one of the districts with deprived or poor roads. If the government identifies some of these challenges and decides to fix them
overnight,
and we all know all means possible, they will go all out. But I mean, it becomes 50-50 in such an instance. As for Ablekuma North, you realize that the votes that were outstanding could still tilt things. That is why I wasn't of the position that it could be a serious fight for the MPP lady. But for this one, Matthew has been a long-standing member of Parliament. I'm sure
he actually retired the NDC's long-serving candidate for the constituency.
Yes. And so I know, yes, they will do it's part of the politics actually. We won't do this one. Yesterday I saw the General Secretary of the MPP in Pandai meeting with the people and say, we won't let them come here and come and do all those things will go on. But if it becomes the constitutional position that the rerun must occur, very soon you will see the EC come up with timelines and blah, blah. If you're a political party, you fall in and you try to organize your base and see how the day will turn. It's not going to be too easy for the NDC candidate, except that they have the resources now. And if the people say, fix this for us and let's vote for you, they can best fix it. And we have seen overnight road constructions and a lot of developments. So that is it. Interesting, but we hope to see and we want to see how the days
but in terms of, and this is still, these conversations are pending what the determination of the courts could be. Would it have any serious political implication for any of the parties? So, for instance, NPP wins, this becomes a push for them to want to begin to believe that, okay, things are not all that bad for us, and so we can begin to make the charge towards and doesn't this come at a time which can confuse things a bit for the NPP? We know their primary is in January.
Yes.
If this by-election is going into January, then it could bring about problems. I'll pick your thought and then I'll pick that of Council.
So yes, it creates some kind of complex situation, but I mean, it's also an opportunity to learn. What do you do under situations like this? If it's the first time the MPP is coming across a situation like that, it will be an opportunity for them to learn. Maybe if the EC keeps to the timelines, it means that rerun will occur before the presidential primaries would occur. So they can, all the flag bearers could go there and assist and rehearse, police the ballot process, the counting and all those things as a precursor to the 31st January one. But then if in the course of the preparation we hear something from the courts the appeals court or the Supreme Court, as lawyer mentioned, then it leads to the EC holding on with its preparations to, then perhaps they can focus on the presidential one, and then maybe based on what the outcomes will be, have enough time to prepare for the rerun if it becomes the case. So yeah, for me, every challenge that comes gives you an opportunity to learn. Right. And so they must take it, learn from it. Once they go through it, we hope it doesn't happen again in future. But if it happens again in future, you would have had the experience to handle and manage things like that.
Also, Eric, so my position is that if the rerun was to be conducted and the MPP emerge victorious, that would not be symptomatic of a major comeback.
2028 is still very far away.
Yeah, we have a long way to 2028. So it would be too early to rejoice. Yeah. You get it. But like Prof said, I think it's an opportunity for the MPP to learn. The thing is that sometimes events, you can be overtaken by events. Yeah. So it is for you to now adjust your processes. And I'm sure if, like Prof intimated, if the EC faces a date for the rerun, they will have to find a way of adjusting their processes, even if they will not change their date as they have already communicated.
As for their date, I doubt it's going to change.
I'm not sure they will change because they've already communicated to the grassroots, particularly the delegates.
The option they have, the most probable option they have will be to defer Pandai as a constituency.
Okay, for their election.
31st election be deferred so that they can have full focus on the rerun. And then their presidential election can be pushed to somewhere February or somewhere. Okay. So all the remaining 275 or so will vote in their flag bearer, and then they will do theirs later, and then their outcome will come in added to there. So it will be like the time one when everywhere was cool except time.
Yeah, but that one, the outcome will most likely be known before.
And the thing is that it will really change a lot of their processes. And for me, if there's any advice I'll give it to the MPP, to be that they should pursue the appeal and the case before the Supreme Court.
But then they're in the constituency campaigning as well.
Yes, that's what Prof said. The thing is that now the Constitution is working until Supreme Court or the Court of Appeal
comes up with
say anything.
Different thing.
Go ahead and campaign. Otherwise, the NDC will, because the NDC is conducting it, is yet to even conduct its primaries. Very soon they issue a statement inviting people to apply. So the MPP has no excuse. Don't be in the media crying foul or crying hue and trying to whip public sentiment. Public sentiment about the decision of the court. The court, and the thing is that I always tell people, if a court can make a right decision, that court has the same power to make a wrong decision. So we should not be sitting somewhere and be saying that the court has made a wrong decision on the basis of which you are castigating or chastising the judge in the media. That is not the case. If the judge has made a wrong decision, it means that judge can make a right decision. So if you find the decision to be wrong, go on appeal, which you have done. So leave the public commentary. They should stop making, trying to incite their members. When Supreme Court upheld the election of John Mahama, what didn't people see? But the thing is that the court has spoken. If you have issues, go on challenge. So I think they should desist from public commentaries, further public commentaries on this matter, whilst they subtly pursue this appeal and the judicial review.
Yeah, I like the subtly. So the public commentary would be something on the surface.
Yes.
Whilst they go
exactly do the work.
But politics, because of politics,
they must do it.
They will do the.
No, that's what I'm saying. They are further straining their relationship.
Okay, with the courts.
With the court, because you are attacking them. If you go ahead.
But the courts are used to.
No,
they don't know who is in government. The courts have been bastardized.
And the thing is that. The fact that it's been done,
it doesn't make it right.
Yeah. Because that's not how. Sometimes I also tell colleagues, sometimes even my juniors, that see, if you are given opportunity in the media, be cautious of your commentary because even you are an officer of the court. So, Prof, I agree. They should go and campaign. Eric, go and campaign whilst they marshal strategies to pursue the other means. Other than the NDC, I'm telling you, like Prof said. They will change.
But what would it change? Just like it won't change much. No. I mean, you have the 2/3 already.
Eric, the thing is that it's not for the NDC. Now they've gone beyond the 2/3. They are not interested in the 2/3. They just want to assert their dominance.
Right. Yeah.
You know, assert their dominance that we showed you where power lies. You get it, and that is what. And if you've heard commentaries from the party functionaries of the NDC after the court decision, they are ready to go in on seat Nyindam. They are ready to take.
Well, it was an incumbent Nyindam unseated.
Exactly. So they are ready to go back to reclaim the seat.
Right. Last words before you run out of the seat.
Yeah. So for me, it's interesting, but it has come to that. The NDC is teaching the MPP some lessons, and they must learn.
Valuable lessons they must learn.
Yeah, valuable lessons they must learn. The good news is that here in Ghana, the NPP and the NDC would continue to dominate for a long time. So, they have to actually take their notes and be observing closely and learning from what is happening. The fact that you had maybe 169 did not mean then
that someone will not come and get 184.
Get it. And even be yearning for more. So there are a lot of lessons. The approach to reruns and by-elections and all those things are also notes that the MPP will need to take. They will definitely come to power one day. Definitely. Ghana has always been.
The dynamics will always be.
So let's learn daily. Politics evolves daily.
Right.
And so this will be part of the evolution daily. And then when they get the opportunity, they will know how to handle situations better or maybe equal to what the NDC is doing.
Right.
But I don't wish one day we have a parliament that is maybe 200 over or maybe 2 something.
200 over
76.
It's possible.
Or maybe 220 versus.
Per what it is that we've seen, you can't dispute it. If you misgovern to the extent which you could see.
And the MPs should also advise themselves. Sometimes I sit back and I wonder why some MPs are comparing themselves to some MPs. There are some MPs whose seats are largely safe.
Exactly.
So yes, it is. So currently 185 plus. Please watch your seat carefully.
Guard it jealously.
Don't be following people whose seats are safe. If you don't guard yours jealously,
they will come for it. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me in studio as well. Austin Bracco Powers, a private legal practitioner, and Professor Smart Sapo, Director of Research and Innovation at the the Kumasi Technical University. I'm always tempted
the best technical university for almost 8 years running.
Fantastic.
In Ghana. Oh, in West Africa, we are, I think, the 11th or so thereabout. In Ghana, all the universities ranked put together, public, technical, all put together. We are number 7.
That's good.
That's
so
fantastic.
you take out our fathers, the Legons, the this ones, and we are right. We are not challenging that. We don't. But it's emphatic to state that for best technical university, your best destination is the Kumasi Technical University. Admissions are still ongoing. I hope you not give me invoice.
I'll give you invoice. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, we do doctoral, PhDs, we do masters, all the courses. It's a full university with a full capacity. We award all the degrees from PhD to the undergraduate program. So.
Thank you very much. It's time for us to thank you. This I will not give you invoice. It's time for us to bring you Womanpreneur right now here on the 3FM Sunrise.
3 FM 92.7 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 3 FM 92.7.
The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music.
Locked in live right here on 3FM Sunrise, on 3FM 92.7. Do keep following on all of the socials, and you can find us on X, on Facebook. We are on Instagram, also on YouTube. Make sure that you never miss a beat. But of course, it is a glorious Tuesday morning. And so you know that means another very exciting installment of Womanpreneur. And I've got a very special Womanpreneur in the studios this morning. Mame Mansa Richardson is the founder and CEO of Bare Skin Spa Cafe de Boba, and Freeze Foods, or is it Freezy Foods, Mame? Freezy. You're a very, very busy lady. So it's Bare Skin.
Yeah.
Then there's Bare Skin Spa.
Yep.
That's different from Cafe de Boba, and also different from Freezy Foods.
Yep.
How many hours a day did God specially give you? I have 24. Sounds as though maybe you've been blessed with 36, maybe 48 in one day.
It's still 24.
Still the same 24 hours, but it's good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you in that Christmas spirits yet?
Definitely. Christmas is cocoa season for me, so I'm
fantastic.
very excited.
Fantastic. The bronya is in the air.
Definitely.
All right, let's talk about this mogul, shall I say, in the making that I have in the studio with me.
Definitely.
And we're curious to know how it is that you got started with all of this. We'll break it down. I'm very curious to know about Bare Skin and Bare Skin Spa. Have you always had that entrepreneurial spirit? Have you always wanted to do something for yourself?
Yeah. I think I discovered this early on, very early on. When I was in uni, I used to do my internships with PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC. So from there, I just knew 9 to 5 wasn't my thing. Like, I just felt like that was too restricting, even though entrepreneurship is 10 times harder, but I just felt like I didn't like the rigid nature of 9 to 5. So I discovered that early. And my love for makeup, I used to do makeup actually. That's where we transitioned from. So
I see.
My OGs know me for hair and makeup. I used to do braids in uni. So I transitioned from that to makeup. And I did that like after uni. I was like, nah, I don't want to work for anybody. So let me figure out these things so that my parents don't start worrying me with getting a 9-to-5.
Got it.
We started makeup, and then from makeup, I decided to start a brand, like either a makeup brand or a skincare brand. But I felt like a lot of Ghanaian ladies like to use makeup to cover their skin. So if you had acne or you were struggling, instead of fixing the problem, they tried to use makeup to cover it. So I was like, no. I think the base is education. They don't know how to. So I'll start bare skin to kind of teach. So that's where the name came from, bare skin, so that you bare your skin and you take good care of it. So I started bare skin, and then we started with beauty tools. So like the skin cleansing brushes, facial steamers. And then in 2022, I launched like my skincare brand, so cleanser, moisturizer, all of those things to help people to take better care of their skin.
Wonderful. So you've done corporate Ghana, you've done the makeup, now you're into the skincare. We'll talk about the food and beverages and all of that. The next step has to be presidency at this point.
Or first lady.
Okay, that one is a bit more stress-free. Okay.
Definitely.
I like that. So you have your eye on one presidential candidate.
We'll see. Maybe 2026.
Hey, that's next year, please. We are not doing voting. 2028, then you bring your wahala to us.
Thank you.
But Mami, let's talk about what it takes to actually get into entrepreneurship. And I like that you said that it's 10 times harder than actually, sometimes pursuing a 9-to-5 because a 9-to-5, somebody else is bearing the cost, the operational cost, making sure the taxes are in order, the accounting. You also to show up, deliver, and go home.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, as an owner, there's nothing like 9-to-5. It's 24/7, right?
Yeah.
And how have you come to, accept that is the way of business, or has it been a hard transition?
I think that the spa kind of cushioned me, and I tell people that I used to be a one-man team when I used to do makeup. So I didn't know anything about building a team, what it takes to hire people, because even when I used to do makeup, people opted to assist, but I used to refuse because I just felt like even when I have an assistant, usually they slow me down. So when I started the spa, obviously I can't do all the services, so I had to employ people, and that was the hard part, to be honest, and just working with people, understanding how people behave. And the Ghanaian culture is very weird, honestly, like when it comes to people serving you or helping your business. But I think the spa kind of cushioned me, helped me to really understand some of these things. And then now we've grown into like a bigger team, and I have more people working for me. So yeah, the spa kind of gave me soft landing, and then now when I hire people or when I'm training a new team, I kind of understand better, and then I'm able to relate to them better.
Now this question I ask all my womanpreneurs, mainly because I'm nosy, but also hopefully it can give a budding womanpreneur some perspective. With bare skin, was that capital intensive in terms of setting it up? Did you have to spend a lot of money to get it going? And how did you put yourself together? Was it through funding from family, friends? Was it from your prior business as a makeup artist? How did you put yourself together to actually start?
Okay, so yeah, definitely my personal funds, but also I felt like, as I said, bare skin didn't start with products immediately because that was really capital intensive, and I make my skincare in the UK. So at the time, the exchange rates and all of those things. But what I did was to build capital. So we started off with the skincare tools because those are cheaper and they're in China, and it's easier to just bring, and the MOQs are not so big. So you can start with maybe 100. As you're seeing the way the market is going and your profit, you just reinvest. Another thing that helped me was that I kind of diversify. So for food, now that I'm doing food, it's not so surprising because post-COVID, I realized that people wanted to live healthy, people wanted to eat right, do all of these things. So what I did was that I kind of brought in portable blenders. I should have brought one actually. So these blenders that you can blend on the go.
Okay.
And
so
put
like
your
what, like a
fruits-
smoothie on
yes,
the go?
a smoothie on the go. And that went really viral. So I feel like that really gave me the capital to invest in the skincare later on.
Oh,
yeah, so
interesting.
sometimes you have to build from somewhere.
You know, you can't always just start like
if
that.
you find something viral that may not even be in your niche, but could bring money, at that point, when you're starting out in a business, funding is very key and finding money. So any other source that can bring you money, you grab it.
I love that. Good tip there for our womenpreneurs who are tuned in. So we've talked about Bare Skin Spa. Now let's talk about Cafe de Boba. Is that new?
Yeah, we turned one in November.
I see. I think I definitely follow on the socials. I love boba, and we know that boba has taken Accra by storm.
Yeah.
Did it start with even boba? Because now I know matcha is the new girl on the block. Are we going to see Cafe de Matcha?
I saw matcha.
Okay.
Even before matcha became
Even
a thing.
before it was the craze.
Yeah.
All right, talk us through Cafe de Boba. And was that you capitalizing on the hype, on the virality, or was that something that you were doing, like, or had thought about doing even before the hype?
Right. So I was addicted to boba.
Okay.
I used to drink boba every day, almost every day. And I realized that, no, it wasn't feasible for my pocket.
Okay.
Because at that point, I am sending a dispatch, I am paying delivery fees, I am doing all of these things. Just
So
to
you thought you recruit
satisfy
all of us to also become addicts?
Exactly. So I used to call my my tribe addicts. So now we've turned neighbors. So now because we are moving to different neighborhoods and setting up, so my followers are called neighbors. But so this addiction led me to explore if I could even make these things at home. So I had a friend that used to come from China to Ghana almost every month. She's in Ghana. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to find some suppliers, ask them to drop samples with you, and then you're going to bring it so that I can even make these drinks at home and I don't have to go to these stores. So I started making it for myself. And then I will bring friends over and they'll try it. I just make a drink for you when you visit me. And they're like, oh, this thing is nice. So what did you use for this? What did you do to this? Like stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I think I am ready to start a new business. But I always used to tell my friends that if I ever started anything new, it would definitely be boba because I feel like my addiction has to bring me some benefits. Yeah.
And with that as well, how capital intensive was it? Scaling up from just feeding your addiction to creating more addicts in this space?
It's expensive. I think I even underestimated it at a point. I thought it wasn't that crazy, but it looks like a very simple setup, right? Just maybe a ice machine, this. But the supplies is the problem.
Got it.
And because we do not make these things here, or you can't even get it easily here, you have to import probably 3 months supply, 6 months supply. And even when we opened in November last year, I honestly underestimated the hype. And I think I had built momentum on social media, so I had a cult following, like a crazy following. In a month, they sold me out. The whole of December, I had to close my shop.
Because there was no more stock.
No more stock. And I thought I had stocked up enough. I had enough supplies for maybe the whole of December till even January. First 2 weeks, they just sold us out. So I had to close down for about a month to wait for my new supplies. And then we took over again in January.
That's exciting. Would you say that it's really just the virality of the products at the time, or is there some magic that you're performing that is, keeping you in business and making you open new businesses?
I think, the hype is definitely helping, but I think telling my story was the catch. So initially, I felt like Ghanaians weren't so empathetic. So I find that in the US or in the abroad, people are very empathetic. You can even share that I'm closing down my business tomorrow and people will blow you up with orders just so that they can see you thriving. But I didn't think Ghanaians were like that. They'll buy into your story that much. But I was like, you know what? it's worth trying. Let me just share. So I shared the entire journey of setting up the business, down to FDA, down to RGD, every part of the process, sampling, all of those things. I put it into like a different episodes, and I was sharing with people what I was doing, right until we opened the store. So I think people really connected with me on that level, and they wanted to see me do well, or maybe some people wanted to see me fail. So obviously they'll still want to follow the journey, right? So that was really what helped. And honestly, shout outs to TikTok, because TikTok really did it for Cafe de Boba, because up till now, I don't even have a strong marketing budget or I haven't paid any influencer to hype Cafe de Boba till now. And a year on, I am still using TikTok to really push, the business. And that has honestly helped us so much.
Is it true that if you enjoy Boba, you're a pre-man?
If you enjoy Boba, you're a pre-man. And that's a boy thing. And if you can afford a 50-40 CD cup of a snack, and it was.
And I don't know. Let's talk about Freezy Foods. What is that all about? When did it start? And the same sort of premise. What got you into that industry, if you will?
Well, when it came to Freezy, so Freezy was just me sharing with my neighbors that I'm struggling because the supply of strawberries at the time were inconsistent, and the main suppliers that I had could sometimes run out, and I had to rely on like these supermarkets and stuff. So sometimes I would just share that strawberries have run out, and then I share my day-to-day on my TikTok. So in sharing that, you see my neighbors who go and find suppliers for me, send to me, hey, check this place, they'll be tagging me. So one of my neighbors like that called me. He's like, oh, I have a main supplier for you for frozen strawberries, so I think you should contact them. So I contacted them. The prices were amazing. So I'm like, this thing cry. So we started buying from them, and then I realized, people also needed some. So I'm like, I'm always finding problems, and then my problem becomes the new business I start. So I realized that there was demand for these frozen foods. Not a lot of people. The way I even struggled to find these suppliers, and most of them are these Lebanese, so they don't do so much advertisement or putting themselves on TikTok. They won't do that. They are looking for people to just wholesale from them and go and sell retail. So I just tried it one time. I'm like, I'm selling this weekend. Anybody who wants to buy? The shop was full. Like, people were calling. I was packing orders continuously that weekend, and I'm like, so is it that this thing? Then I decided, no, we're going to do it properly, and I have to get like a new freezer for it at the shop. But because our stores are not big, because I don't believe in the sit down concept, or my idea for my bubble tea shops are not like a sit down concept. So we already have a space constraint. So when I added this, I just couldn't handle it. So this was around maybe 6 months ago, like midway, when we started this, and I was like, nah, it's not working for the way I wanted it to go. So I actually even stopped for a while. So I think 3 months ago, I even posted that I couldn't do this. We couldn't sell. We couldn't meet the demand. I was just like, no, this is not working, because I need to sit and restructure if I really want to do this Freezy thing properly. So I have a small space beside my spa at Airport Residential. So I was like, okay, I could actually turn this small space into like a proper store. Okay. Get proper freezers so that we can store volumes. And then luckily for me, I think God just speaks to me really interesting. I feel like, I don't hear God audibly, but what he does is that if he wants me to pursue something, he will make the path really easy, or he will keep prompting me on it. So when I was confused about it, and I was like, it's just even the strawberries, people are probably going to get tired of just the strawberries at some point, and I haven't found other suppliers for the other berries. Tell me why I'm just doing. A friend of mine calls me and he's like, oh, I found another major supplier for you for even blueberries, blackberries, all these other berries. And I'm like, God, is that you talking to me? Exciting. Then Freezy became proper. I registered it. we got the store, and then now it's doing fantastic. That's also another stream of income for me, and it's been great. It's been
amazing
great.
stuff. Amazing stuff.
It's been great.
They say time flies when you're having fun. It's exactly 10 a.m. time for us to sign out of the studio. But Mame, do plug these businesses where we can find you on the socials.
Right.
I think you recruited some new addicts, some new neighbors this morning, so we can take advantage, have our skin glowing like yours. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, this is the Bare Skin ambassador here, bearing her skin looking supple. If you're interested in boba and frizzy foods, she'll tell us where we can find all of that.
Okay, so for the spa, it's located on the same road as Nyaho Clinic, 49 Kofi Annan Street, Airport Residential. And then Freezy is just beside it. And then for our boba, we are in Jolu and Dansoman. For Jolu, we are just right opposite the First Atlantic Bank. And for Dansoman, we are on the same road as St. Anthony's School. So yeah, you can find us on social media, Cafe de Boba Ghana, bareskin.spa on Instagram, and freezy.co on Instagram for Freezy Foods.
And then in 2028, we'll also find Mame because she'll have as First Lady attached to the name. Watch this space. Mame, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for speaking with us and also being our womanpreneur this December. I hope you have an enjoyable Bronya and the business multiplies, quadruples, and all of that. I'm sure some womanpreneurs have been encouraged this morning. Sometimes you just start small, or, you know, in solving your own problems, you could find an avenue for someone else. 1 minute past the hour of 10. If it's your birthday today, we're wishing you a very happy birthday indeed. And a very, very special happy birthday going out to Samuel Ajiman. And this one is coming from your colleague, Paul. He says he's happy to have you as a friend. May God bless you for all that you've done for him. Samuel, it's your birthday today. And also from all of us, we're wishing you a fantabulous, fantastic birthday. The next birthday wish going out to Michael. I know him as Kosomia. This last name... Bogla, Michael Bogla, acting head of events and activations, 3 Group. Am I allowed to say the nickname? Kosomia. Today is your birthday. This one is coming from all beneficiaries of Kosomia Case, past, present, and future. And this is coming from all of us right here on 3FM Sunrise, right here at 3FM 92.7. We love you beyond measure. Keep up the good work, and a happy, happy birthday to you. Yeah.
As the CEO of Kosomia Cares Foundation, we want to wish our founder and president, Kosomia the Great.
Kosomia the Great.
Yes.
Kosomia, we appreciate you today.
Full worship for everyone.
Has this been sanctioned by... Oh, off your mic. I don't know whether this message has been sanctioned by the...
It has been sponsored and verified by FDA.
Sponsored and verified, absolutely. Kosomia, we'll see you in chambers for the spoils of today. Happy, happy, happy birthday indeed. I think that's all the birthdays that we have for this morning. Again, if it is your birthday, we're wishing you a fantastic one indeed. And of course, tomorrow we're back bright and early. We have another packed one for you. Do be sure to make a date with us. 5:55 all the way up until 10 a.m. But Enyonam Haliga is here bringing us the news at 10. My name is Helen Appiah-Ampofo. On behalf of the very exquisite team right here at 3FM 92.7, we wish you a glorious, glorious Tuesday. Thank you.